put a couple of normal episodes up, and then we'll put that charity one up as well.
I've started recording on here now.
Okay.
Just so we know.
Depends how well otherwise the charity one goes. I'm terrified.
I mean,
I wouldn't be.
yeah, well, this is the thing, is that you said, I'll wait and see how this one goes, and it's like, nah, that's the one where you're going to be under the most pressure.
Yeah.
There is no pressure. It's a
No,
charity.
there isn't. There's absolutely none. I mean, the fact that Cynthia Spencer actually got in touch with us about it, they sort of are aware that we're doing it, that's kind of cool.
Mm.
I just hope that it just would have been nice if they'd done it maybe like 3 days ago, then we could have sorted out if it was going to be shirts for everyone or just one person. Because that would have been fun.
Some people are dressing up.
I mean, I'm dressing up anyway, but I could have worn the actually, no, it
I
wouldn't
didn't
work
know.
with the costume.
I'm taking it too
I'm
much
going
to
as
the
a pirate.
side. I mean, yeah, you don't have much of a choice, do you?
Do you know what sort of cleric you're going to be?
Pirate.
Shit, you know.
Not a trickery domain?
I actually haven't looked at the clerics, if I'm completely honest. You know, not while I've got time.
I think there's like a sailing cleric in here. This Midgard book.
No.
What? You don't want us to use this?
Well, I haven't got it for a start.
Oh, it's pretty fun. I mean, this one's got a beer domain, which would have been great for Adam's first beer, which would have been great for Adam's first character. Rurik
What level are we
Alehammer.
going in?
4.
Trickery is in Player's Handbook. Let me just read.
Yeah, there is an ocean domain in this, which you can have a read of in the break, because I think we're about to start.
Okay.
I'm good whenever. Let me just try
Yeah,
and get
everyone
so
ready?
Your head's not so.
Yeah, start it, because I'll look intelligent with my iPad.
Hold on. Okay.
Deception check.
I am.
I can't read.
I have tiny dice.
Good for you.
I mean, we're just going to wing it a little bit. I've just clicked the start streaming button, so we'll see what happens. We don't
Okay.
have a nice little buffer moment. Apparently, we're streaming now.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Eat, Crit and Survive, where a bunch of guys gather in a garage to play Dungeons and Dragons. We play Dungeons and Dragons! Way too late. Way too late on that one. We are down a few members, and this is our
Yeah.
today, and we're doing this as sort of like a beta test streaming
Yeah,
thing, just
sure.
for the hell of it. We will acknowledge the fact that there are cameras here, so things are going to sound a little different because we're having to move stuff and deal with it.
Sorry, guys. Can we just take a moment to acknowledge that we look really professional because I just transitioned to the DM cam, and now it's mostly focused on you whilst
You
you're
transitioned
talking.
to the DM cam after I'd already started.
Yeah, but you know, early
That's-
production.
That
values just
sounds about right. But on the other hand, this isn't necessarily going to be ever shown to anyone ever, so who knows?
Who knows?
But on the plus side, welcome. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Missing Friends. Because as you can see, we are short 3 members of the party. Dom is off on holiday, Jared is unwell, and Matt is working. So you've got the whole spectrum of things not going well for everyone.
All going very well. if
All
you're
going very well.
On holiday.
Yeah, it depends on who you are. Hi, Connor.
I'm seeing some real lack of commitment from people outside this game.
Are you sure? Are you
I
sure
have
you can, are you sure you can see them?
Literally nearly lost an eye.
Are you sure you can see?
No, not really.
They're all in your blind spot. It's fine. They are actually there. They're just
Anything
under the table.
from here that way is in my blind spot.
This is why we come and play D&D, is to make fun of Connor,
Yeah.
regardless of what happens. So,
If you are new to the channel,
welcome.
I normally have 2 eyes.
Which I presume they will be new to the channel.
You-
Because
Because
it's
the
a
channel's-
channel we've done.
It could not be new to my channel.
If you're new to the
okay.
podcast,
Yeah,
then
Exactly. Yeah, because I normally audio describe how I'm blind.
Yeah, if you're new to the podcast,
welcome.
you don't actually necessarily know that.
This is what we look like.
Today.
Yeah, this is what we look like. Well, some of us look like anyway. Ross doesn't always have that intent look on his face. It's just when he's
Very focused.
dealing with the IT aspects.
So focused.
Super focused.
Laser focused.
So, where we last left off, you guys have been travelling through the Shadowfell, dealing with the problem that had arisen with Asher's backstory and that she'd killed the king's son,
Shit happens.
King Ivar Freyr-Kosen, which I realise I've forgotten to say his name for quite a few episodes.
Corzin. I didn't actually know his name. I was just referring to him as the king all the
Freyr,
time.
Ivar Freyr-Kosen.
Yeah, the king.
He had banished you to the Shadowfell for killing his son. The rest of you had chosen to follow her and had set upon a series of challenges that mostly involved death and undead things.
No colourful doors. Disappointed.
No doors yet. There was one door. You did deal with it. You broke that door. But having made it to the small Svartalfen village of Underfella, you were set upon a challenge by the Raven Queen, or at least an offer that she would help you regain your memories if you did a task for her. You had a choice of options. You had the easy one, and you had the not so easy one. So naturally, being D&D players, you went for the hard option
First.
So you say players. Connor only told us about the hard option.
That did also happen. It's because Connor
fluffed it.
forgot.
I fluffed it at the beginning. It had been
I
a
thought
whole
that
week.
was deliberate.
No,
No, Connor just forgot.
I fluffed it right at the very beginning. And then Luke went, "Weren't you going to go for the easy one?" I was like, "Yeah, I was. I had every intention of doing the easy one first." And then next thing you know, cone of cold or whatever at 9th level. Twice.
Prismatic spray.
Yeah.
I do have a habit every time you tell us the group something. I look at Luke like, is this right? Is this
Is this what he said to you?
Is this,
he was gonna
is this
do?
the correct?
There,
So
after a number of battles and a lot of acid dropping on you, and then acid filling your chamber and attacking a unicorn that seemed to be there, you did eventually come across the first of the Raven Queen's not necessarily, former allies, certainly. As you entered the Tower of Nazvul in the Bone-Capped Mountains, took him out whilst Lyra died in a corner.
It's a circular room. She was not in a corner.
I was expecting you to say that, and well done.
I'm
For that.
pleased
Proud of you.
to be so predictable.
Proud of you.
Predictably pedantic.
Having done that, you met a gentleman called Gudrumir and found some interesting loot, which included a rod of security that you then used to recover from illness and some possibly bad effects that could have killed Calatar and George, which we were fully expecting to, and you managed to get away with it. Having
One day away from death.
They were pretty close to death. Asher had another conversation with the Raven Queen where she asked for the big boon to be bring back fallen son that she had slain.
And never put big boon in a message to someone and don't read it fully.
How many
Because
times have you
it
sent big boon?
will translate to big boob.
Depends on your predictive
No,
text.
No,
both
regardless-
me and Luke both sent big
regardless-
boobs to each other.
I'm
Come
gonna
on.
try this now. Carry on.
Yeah.
Send
So
your
we.
wife a big boon.
So having dealt with that and that conversation, Asher finished her séance with the Raven Queen, having decided that she will take on this extra mission alone if necessary. And that is where we shall pick up in Unafella, with the rest of the party just sort of chilling out in the temple to the Raven Queen. Asher, you have just finished your séance, as has everyone else, because you were all there for the first part of it at least, as Tom just found out the predictive text of Big Boon.
Mine stayed at Boone, so it's just you two with filthy
iPhones.
iPhones.
Damn it, Siri. You let me down.
Yes, and Siri. No. So, what would you like to do?
So I've just walked out. They're all in there with me.
You're
so
all in there with you, so you've all just basically come back to consciousness. You were all essentially in that trance shadow
Together.
palace thing.
but there was a moment where it was.
There was a moment where it was only Asher and the Raven Queen, but none of you noticed that. It was as if it was basically Inception. It's like there's the time traveling reality, then there's the time that's going on whilst you're in in this mini realm, and then there's Asher doing her own thing,
side questing on the
side questing on the
on the
way.
little Windsor.
So, what would you like to do?
So I'm gonna cast my mind back to many moons ago. I want to speak to Drellis.
Okay. He did not come down with you. He is back. He's just sort of generally resting and
Yeah, I
Talking
kind
to-
of need to speak to him first.
okay. You head off and go and find
So
Prince
you-
Drenalis.
Don't say anything to the rest of us.
If you
Just
want to talk to me,
You're
you
walking
can.
straight
I mean,
up.
we're aware that you've had this kind of extra conversation that we haven't heard.
No, you're not. You had no sense.
Caught out in time.
You essentially, there was a stoppage in time for your perspective, and then it was Asher had her own thing. That
Okay,
was
so conversation got to a point, not necessarily an end,
yes,
and then Asher walks out.
yeah, and then you've been snapped out of the shadow
I'm going
palace
to
that you
follow
were
her
in.
confused because I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, also very, very fair.
Asher. It's bleeding.
Yes,
in
yes.
third person, Lyra approaches Asher.
I'm trying not to
I'm
do
not
it.
fully blind.
Asher, what's happening?
I need to speak to Dremelis. It concerns his family.
Okay.
That is all I can say for now. I need to make sure of something first.
All right.
All right, you pick up the pace and you rush off after Ronaldus. Everyone else following behind, a bit bewildered.
I'll stay back if she wants.
Okay.
She wants privacy.
I mean, do you?
No, I'm not all I can. I just need to ask him first
Okay.
before I do
You
something
you
that
appear
could
into
offend
the.
someone.
You arrive at the room that he's sat in. He's sat there just drinking a cup of tea. Oh, hello. How was it?
It was difficult.
Oh, how so? Looks
Earlier
around at
on,
the rest of you.
when you pulled me aside, you spoke to me about forgiveness
Yes.
and that, when given the opportunity to apologise, I should take it.
Words to that effect.
The Raven Queen has offered me a great boon of power. If we were to collect one final artifact, I could then use that artifact to restore the king's son.
He stops mid-sip of tea and just... Right?
Is that something you would want?
Well, he puts the tea down. To be honest, there's complicated feelings on that. On a personal level, yes, I would very much love for my cousin to return, and I'm sure my uncle would really, really appreciate it. But the dead, we have an awkward relationship with the dead in Alfheim. Aside from anything, when the dead are sent to Valhalla or to the other place, then we occasionally see them come back. But those who are sent to Helheim, they never return. Because they are the wards of someone who doesn't wish to give them up for when Ragnarok occurs, is their army. As are the ones who go to Valhalla. But at least those in Valhalla are used positively, and the rest of the world, they wander around. Revival of someone who has ended up in Helheim it would not be a good life for them. They would be likely shunned, driven mad.
But we're not talking about a magical revival here. We're talking about revival by the Raven Queen herself.
I don't know whether that will sway anything. I mean, by all means, if this is what you wish to do, I will not stop you. But just know the significance it may have.
If you wouldn't stop me, would you help me?
Make a persuasion check.
17.
I would. He looks over at Lyra. I assume you would intend to do so as well.
Yes. Absolutely.
And what of the rest?
Did everyone else follow me in here?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they are nosy fuckers.
And then I would probably turn to the rest of them and ask for their aid just one last time to go through. I mean,
What do you say?
the whole time while we've been down here has been quite selfish. We probably could have found a way out and left quite a ways away. But the Raven Queen offered me my memories and personal power while we were down here. And in the fight what we had with Nazgul in the tower, I realised that it wasn't worth it. The power, the memories I would gain back were not as valued to me as you all were. I'd turn to look at Lyra. I'd say I would hunt your brother down for the rest of the world and bring him to justice. You're a sister to me, and I saw you fall, and it was not nice. And if I could avoid ever seeing that again, even if it costs everything that I wanted before, I think I'd be okay with it.
I have a sister. You're closer to me than my sister. You talk like you feel you owe us, or owe me. I don't think you owe me anything. I seem to remember everyone following me on a task, and most of the people here dying as a result, and then everyone being dead for a year while I lived. I feel I owe everyone here my life and my time, my effort. If not for that, then for the bond we share as friends and family.
And then I will turn to the two people who aren't here, with George and Kelatar.
We? Yes. It's two very different accents.
I've asked an awful lot of you two over the last couple of months, and you've never said no. George, you were gonna fight the Valkyrian woman in my stead, and she would have killed you.
I do not think that would have been possible. I would have given her a good fight.
And a good fight, no doubt. But you've never let me down, ever. And if any of you want to leave, then I would recommend doing so. This place is not for us.
How could I abandon such a beautiful woman on her quest for redemption or other such wonderful matters in service of Raven Queen? I must admit I am accustomed to having powerful women who me favours.
I'm going to take a knee in front of Kafina for moral support.
Kalatar just goes, wait, I haven't said yes yet. Alright then, if you insist.
But is it really real?
Yes, we got over that. we spent a while in my paradise and everything was fine. Apart from that tree that got unfenced.
I made it better.
It's now running around Hunt. Thanks for that, Cedric.
You're welcome.
But no, Tiffy, I'll kneel down on there and
you.
You're nowhere near as bad as what everyone makes you out to be.
I know.
You're still learning, and you are extraordinarily powerful. Cheers.
I try. Try not to hurt people.
And I think that's why you're the perfect person to be around. You know, I feel like at one point I had a sister, but I can't remember who that is anymore. But I do know that you are like a little sister to me, and there's no amount of times that you can blow me up, set me on fire, or hit me with lightning.
When did I say you're on fire?
With the fireball.
Oh yeah. Harry.
But we love you all the same for it.
She leans up and gives you a hug.
No, we'll pick her up. Because it's greatly very easy at the moment.
It's one hand.
And while holding Kafina.
Just like a baby.
Football. I'm going to give Cedric a big whack on the back.
Ooh. That hurts with how strong you are now.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say, make a strength check, make a constitution save.
No, you're fine.
Or am I? No, I probably am.
I forgot what my modifier is. You might not be fine.
+7.
14?
14.
Solid hit.
Oh.
You still confuse me, big guy.
I don't know why.
But on this island somewhere...
I know we'll never find.
No, I'm not even going to go into that on why you confuse me so much.
We've already got an hour and a half, guys.
But somewhere on this island, you've got a sister. And I think once we come out of this, that's where we'll go next.
I would appreciate that.
Oh, well, yeah, the team needs you more than what we say. And I'm just really glad to have you around. I did see that you followed me first. You lunatic.
You are my new tribe. And we protect each other when we're a tribe.
I'm feeling a team hug. But I'm going to grab Lyra first, because she's probably the first one to run away.
She's a bit stiff.
Particularly as she notices Kelatoran's jaw.
Grab her first.
I'm all about this.
I'll go for. Cedric, we're going for a group hug.
And he will just pop out the top.
Adrenaline just sits there and goes,
Pull him in.
"Ah!"
Coming in.
Just pull in. All right.
It feels even more awkward.
He puts his hand on your shoulder.
Glad he said shoulder.
Oh, you don't want to know where George's hand is.
On your boon. On your great powerful boon.
Got me.
So as you hug long enough for it to become awkward, you eventually break, and aware of the wing speaker and the other acolytes of the Raven Queen just standing in the room, just waiting for you.
Don't ruin this lovely family moment.
Can't even see their faces, they've still got the masks on.
But yeah, so onwards to the Crystal Skull.
Well, you've just come back at the beginning of a new day, because you just had a long rest, but you were planning on hanging around to
Heal Kalatar.
Kalatar, because he is still down some constitution and dex.
To ask the wing
Speaker to use his heal again.
Yes, but that will not happen until the next day, because he does not
so
have...
we need to hang around for another day.
Correct. So if there are any preparations that you wish to make?
I would like to examine my my lovely boots, and also, since I got it at the same place, I'd quite like to examine my armour.
Okay. Remind me, did your armour have...
My
an
armour
asterisk?
has an asterisk next to
It
it.
does. Let me see if I can find my notes on that one. Make an Arcana check.
That's an unnatural 20.
Okay,
I rolled a 19.
nice. Okay, you have a look at the boots. You spend a little bit of time studying. You're not usually arcanely focused, but you have gotten a little bit of sense about how some magical items work. The boots, you already have figured out what happens with that one. Essentially, from a mechanics standpoint, when you roll with advantage, if you roll a 1, then they alert the attention, and it is considered a 1 for the purposes of the stealth roll. But there is obviously a relatively low chance of doing that, so it is up to you.
I did it.
You did it the first time, which was hilarious.
Is it not like permanent now?
No, it's not permanent. So it's just any time when you roll a 1, the next time you do it, if you're wearing them, you make a stealth check. If either of the rolls is a 1, then it counts as a 1.
Right. So if either of the rolls for a stealth check is a 1, the whole thing counts as 1.
Correct.
Right. I shall put the boots back on.
Okay, good to know. The armour, on the other hand, you know that it's magical in some way. You can't quite discern what, because you are not that kind of magical caster. There's not really anything that you can discern from it. You'd need at least something like an identify spell to...
I might ask around the village, see if anyone has any knowledge of this kind of thing.
Okay. Make an investigation check. 13. It takes you the better part of the day, but you do eventually find that there is one mage who's the one that wrote the teleportation circle and the scroll. And sort of looks and goes, I can have a look.
I would be very grateful if you would.
Very well. As long as you don't encounter any lightning, you'll be fine.
Lightning.
Yeah, lightning. Sorry.
Thank you. Right, I will put the armour back on,
Okay.
and then I will go and find Kathina.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll just speak to her when we
Okay.
Get
Mechanical standpoint. When you take lightning damage, you're considered vulnerable to lightning damage.
Yep.
It's a slight fault in the abjuration magic that enchants.
I'm going to go and have a talk with that shopkeeper when we get back.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Didn't he make it?
No, its students did. That was the point. It was the students of the academy, of the Alceda Arcane Academy, that didn't know, that were basically practicing on things. Some things could have had a fault. He didn't know. He didn't want to know, because then he could have a problem. Is there anything else that either of you would wish to do? Or any of the three of you? Looking particularly over at my right hand side. Or sorry, I should say, looking up over here.
How did you know that you were currently... Have you got it as...
No, I saw it on your phone at one point. And
Oh,
also,
okay.
And also, that's the most logical way to put it, is to have
it
me...
fills the whole screen.
Yeah, because otherwise you end up
Yeah.
splotching the bike.
Yeah.
But yeah. But also, I'm magic. You think you're the only one with cameras, Ross?
We had 4 viewers at one point, that's all I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Not now.
No, we still did now. We have 3.
We have 3 currently. I might be one.
Oh,
No, you're
Fraser
not.
was Fraser was one.
You're down as a mod. You don't go down as a
Oh, do I
viewer.
not?
Then who the hell?
I did post it in the chat.
Hi!
I did post it in the chat. So my brother was watching for a bit.
Hi, Fraser. He's
I
gone
did
now.
post it in the chat, and Dom and Matt can have seen that. So maybe it's those 3 people.
Yeah, maybe.
That
Matt's
counts.
working though. He wouldn't have been able to. Dom might have done. Who knows? Anyway, let's not worry about our viewership. At the
Yes.
moment.
No. Just,
What do you got?
Yeah, screw you, viewers.
The views of Con do not necessarily represent the views of Eat, Crit and Survive.
do I
Only
wanna
the
do
ones
anything?
about hating Con.
Fine, I'm taking my garage and I'm going.
No, I don't think so.
You are home. We'll just stay here.
We've not had a long rest, so I can't change any spells.
We've had several long rests.
As in since we've had the long
The most recent long rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. That is, but you have got a day, so you can change spells when you have your next sleep.
But no, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything that I need to cover off.
No. Yes. We're gonna have a rest, aren't we, before we go out and do
Correct.
stuff? Are there any skeletons around?
Make an investigation check. Actually,
Or
no.
zombies or any kind of variation?
Perception for you, I'll say.
Thanks.
Because it's
Throw me a bone. Need a pun count. Oh. 7 with a natural 1.
Oh. You go out, you sit staring onto what you assume is the horizon.
Wing speaker looks pretty old.
You sit on looking out at the horizon, excuse me. Too much gas. And all you can see is the broken partial bones that's just litter the floor. There is nothing that looks like it resembles any full skeleton.
Okay.
May I ask something?
Who to?
You.
You have
Out
to
of
look
character.
Oh, yes.
It's
to say my
we-
name, I'm really
we-
egotistical like that.
We have stayed in this village overnight before.
Yes.
Not overnight.
Yes.
Did we in the morning encounter the same pervasive atmosphere that we've already had trouble with?
You did.
Right. Okay.
So no skeletons, no undeads.
Okay. Yeah,
Nothing.
that's what that's the only thing I could think of was animating a bunch of zombie minions. So if I can't find anything. Then
If it wasn't for a one, then maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go and explore outside of the village. Go beyond the village boundaries and have a look.
Oh yeah, I will on the boundaries of sure.
Where those
Okay.
walls-
I'm not gonna walk more than essentially 10 seconds.
Running distance.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay, make another perception check.
No, different die. That is an 18.
18. Okay. Looking around a bit and using your sort of undead senses, your sort of keen attunement to the undead.
Yes.
You sort of picked up from studying with Artemis a little bit. You managed to find buried in a few spots. You find a little bit of overturned earth. You sort of dig away a bit, and you find that there are 2 bodies that are in various states of decomposure.
So these are actual buried bodies.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's probably
How
someone's kid
close
got
to
there.
the village?
Have a quick look over your shoulder. They're maybe about 100 feet away.
Am I just about to bring someone's cousin or brother?
Someone's child.
Yeah, back. I'm presuming they're adult sized.
They are adult size,
Okay,
yes.
Slightly better.
It's an infant.
I will. I will go back
Okay.
and find Windspeaker
Okay.
and just.
Yes.
I was going to raise a couple of friends to help us on our journey, and I found 2 bodies just out there which I can give a little bit of life to for a bit, but I don't want to do it if they're related to someone or someone's friend.
Make a persuasion check.
5.
They will be nothing to us once they have passed. Do as you will.
Okay, thank you.
You got out of 5?
I will go over. Maybe I would have got. Maybe I would have got told where more were. I will go and go over, and I will cast Animate Dead twice to have 2 new skeletons or zombies. Which one?
You have one skeleton, one zombie.
no skeleton.
Just to be confusing.
Nice.
Have you got the stat blocks for both of those, Ross?
I think the DM has.
DM will direct you to the back of the player's handbook.
Yeah.
Fuck that spell.
I love it when
Specifies
Specifies the DM's fault.
The DM
I don't
has
Yeah,
the
and
information.
the DM will immediately turn around and just say, "Have you provided the stats for that? Because I've got everything else to deal with, bitch."
See, that's why we put it over, I think.
Yeah. I don't think.
Zombie and skeletons both in there.
Makes.
I don't know, my mum would slap me for it.
You got a strict mum.
No, I think she just likes hitting me.
She likes to beat you.
Any reason.
Okay, cool.
So you've got a zombie and a skeleton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
As you start walking back, you
Oh,
go across the bridge, going back over the trench. You walk into the village, and they just they can't pass.
Oh, they just stand still. They don't come in.
They try and come in, but they can't get past.
Okay, I
a
thought they were going to
barrier.
like eviscerate or something like that. That was my concern for a second. Yeah.
Just wait here. And attack anything that tries to attack us.
I'll just leave them standing.
Just turn around and look out of the village.
Sounds good to me.
There you go. You have those two undead minions.
I need to name them, but I'll do that in a sec.
Okay. Anything else that you guys wish to prepare before you go to sleep?
I will just pull Kafina to the side.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Now, you've been doing really well recently with not electrocuting anyone.
I have. I mean, it's a really good streak I've got going.
It's really impressive, and I'm really pleased.
Thanks.
I wanted to point out, I asked someone to have a look at this armour I bought.
Oh yeah.
It's really quite good armour,
Oh,
and I
awesome.
like it a lot. There's just a bit of a downside.
Oh, what's that?
It makes me extra vulnerable to lightning.
I don't know why you're looking at me. You told me I've been doing really good.
I know. What I'm saying is, just bear it in mind.
I will bear it in mind.
Thank you.
It's okay. I got this focus dial that makes things go smaller, and if I want bigger, if I want to hit a lot of things,
That's excellent.
but I can make it smaller.
But remember about the not while blind thing?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try.
That's fine. Thank you, Fee.
Smiled at you. Okay, anything else? Alright. So, you proceed to take a long rest. So, preparing spells, if you so do
Everyone have a look.
choose.
Con saves.
Everyone make a wisdom save. I shall roll one for Kafina and Jorelis. Yes. No.
Durelness.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to roll for.
You do.
What's the DC? I got 15.
Well, tell me what it is. Tell me what you got.
15.
15? You're fine.
George got 15.
Fine.
Lyra got 23.
She's
Oh,
fast.
hang on. Wisdom. George got 13.
Oh, he's fine.
Kanatar is a 16,
Okay.
and Cedric is a 26. Critted.
Ooh. Everyone is
Lord.
okay, apart from Jorelis, who. Okay. Good to know.
Boring when it's an NPC that gets it. We don't get to go how weird he is until it happens.
I know, right? Alright, so morning comes as you wake up, and you assume it's morning. Jorelis sort of sits up from his night's rest and, you know, you still want me to come, I can. Don't really think I'll do much good.
Can I piece this together?
Make an
What-
intelligence check.
Who was it? It was George, wasn't it? Who thought he was crap.
Yeah, he had his apathy.
Yeah. 15.
15. You kind of guess that he has fallen under the curse of the Shadowfell.
How did we.
It was a combination of my innate healing and Cedric's lesser restoration
Yes.
spell.
No.
But it only helped him on
Was
the
it?
morning.
That was for the disease that was affecting Kelatar and George.
The
The
cloak.
The cloak. Let's see. Shall we try giving
Fastball,
Jonas putting the cloak on him? Just humorous.
If you think it'll help. I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. Yes, of course. I'll very happy to roll a 12 on that one.
Excellent. So
Less of that shit while we're going around.
Does the remove curse
Yes.
spell work as well?
Yes.
It does, yes.
Do you have that one?
No. He's not high enough in clever.
Ah, yes. I keep forgetting which
Split.
class.
Yeah.
you
Higher
are
level
firing.
druid.
More druid.
More druid.
More druid.
Alright. So, next day, as you have finished dealing with that, the wing speaker looks at you. Do you know where you are going?
No, and we require one of those scrolls to get us back here afterwards again.
We do not have any available.
Then we will take the incantation that keeps the dead away.
We can do that.
Fantastic.
I
I'm driven.
believe the Raven Queen did specify where you were to go.
She did, and it was like 2 hours ago, so it's completely skipped my mind.
It was yesterday, but sure.
No, it was yesterday.
It was the Sinister Bacilla.
Sinister Bacilla.
Sinister Bacilla.
Yes.
It's the one on the
Oh, it
left.
might be, sorry, Sinister Basilica.
The one on the left.
Yes. Don't go on the one to the right. The one on the right, terrible idea.
So, do you know how we get to this Sinister Basilica?
Absolutely not.
It is about a day's walk that way.
In which direction does he point?
Difficult to tell because there is no north, south, east, or west in the
There are no
Shadowfell. There's
Landmarks?
Dark.
If you were to consider the Bone-Kept Mountains east, then it's south.
Right. Sort of perpendicular
Yeah, pretty
to
much.
them. Okay.
So the forest is northwestish from where you are.
Lyra will make note of these points of reference because part of her thing is she's supposed to stop us getting lost.
Yeah. Which ironically
Except by magical means.
Yeah, ironically, she could not figure out how to navigate using the sun when she first arrived in the Prime Material Plane.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, sun that
Moves?
yeah goes up at one place and goes
It's easy
down
to
another
navigate
in the
if
same.
things don't bloody
Ugh.
move.
I know, right? If you've just got a fixed point in space, you just go, yep, that's where I'm going. So, alright. You get everything prepared, spells sorted out for those that can change them.
I did a swap of something, I can't remember what, to Spider Climb.
Okay, good to know. Change your spells?
Right.
You kept your smite. One smite, that's it. Okay, so
My spells haven't changed.
they do not. So they cast the non-detection spell on you. They also cast Greater Restoration on Galatar. So his Constitution and Dexterity go back up. Actually, his Dex goes up by 2 anyway, but I think it was only down by 4, and he's had 2 days, so that recovers.
His
And
Constitution's currently on 9.
so his con goes back to its maximum, back to what it was.
16.
Yes. Yeah, it was I got a lucky roll on that. I got 6. Took him out.
And his Dexterity is currently on 13? I
It should
think
go
it is?
back to 15 or 14, whichever
It's
one
15?
it is. 15, there you go. And his hit points go back up to their normal maximum of about 70 odd.
73
There
instead of
you go.
41.
Alright, so,
Fully
supplies packed, fully fit. Asher does her morning exercise of putting on her belt. Then she becomes strong. No.
Just before we set off,
Yes.
I don't necessarily need to do it right now, but I'm going to do it just so I don't forget, because it's technically the morning, so it's a good time to do it. I'm just going to cast Animate Dead now to reset the timer, so 24 hours from now I
Gotcha.
will lose control of those things. I just don't want to run out of spells.
It's one of those irritating things that it'd be better if you did it before you went to bed,
But yeah,
but you can't afford to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, because otherwise you might run out of time.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I think they just collapse anyway. I don't think they're going to attack us, but I just don't
No,
want
you
to
lose control of them. They just carry out.
That's
I'll
the,
find out
that's the elementals.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Okay, so you set off on your 8-hour or so walk south, with the shuffling zombie and skeleton following behind you.
Are we moving stealthily? Last time we didn't. But last time there was that thing in the sky.
I mean,
That was when you were returning.
back.
Yeah, I know, but that still means there is something.
We also
popping
have the non-detection spell on us at the minute. I'd be inclined to go for speed now and wait
stealth
until later to stealth.
At which point, Kafina does pipe up and say, we could, if we wanted to go fast, we could speak to Gundamir. He had that thing that can make us be clouds.
I also think that we should save good old Gundamir for emergency
return
situations.
journey?
Yes. At the moment, we're pretty safe. We can't be detected.
I mean, I'm fairly certain that that spell lasts for a day. So we could use it.
Is it the mist form?
Windwalk,
thing?
yes.
Windwalk. So we can turn back and forth from cloud.
It just takes a minute to transform.
But then we would
Okay.
also lose the Jin
For the day.
for the day.
I haven't looked into what else he can do
A lot.
yet. But, sorry?
A lot.
Yeah.
Like a plane shift.
I mean, he's told you the things he can do.
Yes.
Or he has at least said things he can do.
Yeah, my item card doesn't say...
No, because that's just related to the item. It's up to the genie whether or not he decides he wants to tell you what he can do. But he has told you that he can do that, and Kafina is aware of that spell because it's of her element.
Right. Maybe that's a good idea.
Sure.
We can turn back and forth and travel very quickly and not completely safely. You can be harmed in that form, I think, but
There's resistance to stuff.
there's resistance.
Yeah, I mean you can be hurt, but physical things don't hurt you as much because you're just wind.
Let's go
And we
for it.
can travel very fast. So, all right, yes, I will summon Gundamir by saying the word Tornadus.
Out comes this great spiraling wind that forms out of the sapphire, and you just watch the genie form rises up, looking down at you all. Oh, hello, good morning. How can I assist you?
Good morning, Gundamir. It's so nice to see you.
It's good to see you too. What can I help you with?
We're going on another journey today,
Oh, wunderbar.
and we were hoping that you would be able to help expedite things a bit by using the same spell on us that you used a week or so ago, where you made us able to turn into clouds and back and things.
I did not do that on you last time. I offered to do it, but I turned you into a tornado instead, and you flew that way.
But you can do that.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
With that would be very useful. We can zip back and forth when we
Of
need to
course,
go.
not a problem. Give me one moment. He just sort of sits there, just sort of being chanting for a little bit for a minute, and as soon as he does, you all transform into clouds. As does he.
And we can now no longer communicate with
Nope.
each other.
You try to, and
I will concentrate on turning back into an Aladdin.
you pop back into your form after a minute.
Everyone, you can. I think we might need to be back in real shapes to talk first.
After a minute.
Okay, everyone else pops back into their
Do you?
physical form.
Oh, you're taking over.
Everyone else pops back into their physical form.
Does Gundamir, or has he gone?
No, he's still there. You haven't dismissed him.
Thank you, Gundamir.
Oh, you're
don't
most
want
welcome.
to- don't want to keep you any further. And we can do this for the rest of the day. Sort of
Oh yeah, you can do it for another 24 hours.
excellent.
I mean, I can stick around if you want. I'm here for an hour. And, well, 56 minutes.
May
Right.
as well stay.
Is there things
Sure.
you can help us with?
Oh yeah, I can do many things.
If we were to be attacked, could you help us?
Yeah, I could help. I've got magic.
If we wanted to attack something, could you help us?
Yeah, I could help. As long as it is what my master wants.
If there was no attacking, could you help us?
It depends on what you want me to do. I mean,
So
it
keep them
depends.
around.
It depends on if you've got a specific thing that you wish to have. I can do that as well.
Well, you stay around, and if something comes up in the next hour, I'm
Would you
sure.
say if there was a specific thing that we wanted, you could help?
Yeah. If you wish for something, I can make it happen.
That sounds like we could shorten this whole quest quite easily.
if I describe it to him.
What are you rolling?
Wisdom.
What a wisdom set? Why?
I'm trying to
Why
work
are
out
you rolling?
why this is a bad idea. I
You
feel
don't-
like this
you-
has to be a bad
Make
idea.
an Arcana check rather than a Wisdom check.
Well, I'll use that roll. It was
Okay.
an 8, so that's 9.
You have no idea why this could be a bad idea. You have no idea what sort of magic he is thinking of. You don't know enough about genies or the planes to be able to answer that question.
It sounds like a really simple solution to our problem.
I mean, if we could skip it all out, I don't see any reason why not.
Would the Raven Queen feel it?
She just wants the item.
Does she, or does she want it
No, she
taken
really.
from her?
She just
I
wants
think,
the item.
I mean, that would be taken from her enemy. He would no longer have it.
Drenalus at this point sort of puts his hand up and says, can I just check how you do this? Is it some sort of incantation or... well, yeah, I use some magic. If you make a wish, then I can sort it out for you. Drenalus says, right, we're not doing that, because that would be a bad idea.
Why
but-
would that be a bad idea?
It sounds really simple.
Oh, believe me, it would be simple, but then things could get fucked up very quickly.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be here then. We could just leave.
It very much depends on the wording. If there's something there that's protecting it or holding it, it could come with it. We might end up being thrown there. It's a powerful magic.
So what you're saying is we just need to word it very, very carefully.
I mean,
I-
also those possibilities sound alright because if something's protecting it, then we're going to have to go there and fight it, and that way, if it brings it here, then that's not doesn't make any difference. And if we get teleported there, then we don't have to walk all day or float.
I'm going to strongly veto this idea, purely because I don't know what might happen. I feel like we are more in control if we do things ourselves.
I think this is a task you've been set, and we should actually work to accomplish it. And also, maybe we get into a sticky situation later and need that kind of power for something else in a pinch.
Okay,
Maybe-
but that situation has to arrive within the next 50 minutes. Or Gundam
This is us. It could happen.
Oh, I don't dispute it. I'm just... The Raven Queen was not so much insistent that I have to go and retrieve it and bring it back. More is the fact that she would get great satisfaction out of having it and crushing it in her own hands. It's more of a personal vendetta kind of object more than a want. She doesn't want it to want it, she wants it to break it.
At which point, as you say that, the wind speaker, who is not too far away, because you're still just sort of bickering
Yeah.
outside on the outskirts of the village,
With a genie.
with the genie that has suddenly appeared, this has drawn their attention, comes over and says, if the Raven Queen only requires the item to be recovered and brought to her, you would not necessarily need to bring it back here, only to any holy place of hers.
But we don't know any holy places of hers other than this place.
Why don't we wish the item was moved to a holy place of hers? Because then whatever bad thing it comes with it will just end up there too.
Isn't the Basilica hers?
No, it isn't.
No, shame.
I really think this is a bad idea.
Joanna says, I also think this is a bad
So-
idea.
I feel like so much can go wrong.
Gundam, at which point says, well, if you think it's a bad idea, then I won't do it. It has to be your command.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to ask him to do this.
That's fine. We will travel to the temple of the Undying King, and we will go through all of his preset traps and the people who are protecting it, and we will fight through the undead hordes on the way there,
What
and
do
we
I
will
have
retrieve
to
the
roll?
item and bring it back here.
What do
Gundam
I-
is just sitting there smiling.
What do I have to roll to save against a guilt trip?
I'll say wisdom save against persuasion.
Oh god.
I mean, it's also how much would Lyra respond to a guilt trip, to be honest.
16.
25. So I rolled a 19.
But let's be honest, Lyra
You're
has
stronger
a
than
has a
that.
strong sense of duty, and she might feel affected by it, and it may affect her decisions further down the line. But based on Lyra's personality, she doesn't want to do something; she doesn't have to do it. Just that that strength of the argument that Asher is putting out, it's convincing, but
I feel more strongly than ever that you're very like a sister to me, given my own sister. No, I'm sorry. We're going to go. I'm going to turn back into a cloud, so I don't have to speak to.
don't have to justify it anymore. Oh, we're turning back into the clouds. Wonderbar.
Yep, we're going to the Temple of the Undying King Gundamir.
The
Oh,
sinister
wonderful. Will you just
Basilica.
The Sinister Basilica.
Doesn't know which way to go, so he just sort of sits there floating and smiling.
Yep, I'll turn into a cloud and I will accompany Lyra that way.
Alright, you head off. Make a survival check for me.
It's something I'm good at.
You are. I mean, you are going at 300 feet every 6 seconds, so...
600, isn't it? Because are we dashing?
I mean,
no,
you-
we don't want to dash. We
Why not?
get exhausted.
You're already going at 10 times your normal speed.
21.
You are not
21?
going to get exhausted for
Okay.
dashing for 40 seconds, is essentially what this is going to take.
Well, your normal walking speed, if you're going at a regular pace, it would take you about you go about 3 miles an hour. You're going 10 times that. So you're going 30 miles an hour. If you want to go 60, that is ridiculous. But you travel 24 miles in just under 3 hours. As you sort of float your way there, and every so often you kind of, at a relatively high altitude, I assume, because you sort of keep an eye, you can sort of make a note of a distant landmark and sort of keep an eye keeping the mountains on your left hand side as you float around. You can occasionally see what look like groups of undead creatures or just cloaked creatures making their way towards a certain point. You sort of triangulate using those, and you kind of assume that they're heading towards something. They're making some sort of pilgrimage.
They're going the same way we are.
Seemingly. But they are also walking. As you are flying.
Right.
Given that it is a church to the Undying King, it is not beyond the wit of reason that it could be that there is some sort of holy pilgrimage going on.
Unholy pilgrimage.
Exactly. As the case may be.
Indeed.
But as you begin to approach, you start to see the outline of the structure ahead of you. And it looks as if it is a left hand that is reaching into the ground to grab a fistful of earth. There's a tower that extends towards the top of the wrist, maybe about 50 feet beyond the 40-foot high regular chamber. And as you sort of get closer, you can see that there are a pair of wrought iron gates that stand closed, providing a slight view into an antechamber within the just below the tower that has another door on the inside. Simple wooden door that sort of keeps the rest of the cathedral from view.
Are there any windows?
You can make a perception check.
I went on a journey. 10.
10. No windows. There is a bell tower as part of it. You can see that there is sort of an opening for a bell, but nothing else. There doesn't appear to be a way down from the inside of the tower.
We can see each other.
Yeah, you can see each other, but you all look like mist.
Right. So, sorry, I'm picturing this. We've got the tower extends from where the wrist would be.
Yes, so it's like
The main chamber is the hand, is it?
the hand, yeah. So it's sort of the hand, and underneath it, it's just walls, sort of separating out the fingers. But the fingers themselves are ridged out like bone, essentially. So you can see the individual bones of each hand, of the hand,
Right.
each finger.
And between each finger is the actual building itself.
Yes. Sort of like the walls are offset back. It's kind of like
Kind of like slightly extruded columns or something.
yeah, essentially just that curve back to form
Yeah.
the hand. You can see the metacarpals sort of going
So
back.
the door we saw is between two of the fingers.
It's at the back underneath
behind.
It's between the thumb and the little finger.
Right. So all these spaces are blank.
Yes.
Effectively.
Effectively.
So fly around to the back and closer to the door.
Okay. There are the wrought iron gates first of all, and then there is the.
Are there any beings around?
There are no beings.
Can't cast spells while
Can't communicate.
the stream right. It's buffering or something.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's just playback. Someone was asking what level we are.
We're level 8.
Did respond.
I think we carry on. I mean, we can get through a wooden door as mist.
We're pretty
There.
much following your lead at this point. No one can argue against your choice. So if you're in the front,
I mean, I would have made a wish.
that was the suggestion also of the person who was asking.
Hi,
Wish.
random
Keep
audience.
it very simple. Do the wish. Do the wish.
Hi, random audience member. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
I think we can get through the cracks in the door.
We could
Presumably,
cracks
by
then.
the way, Gundamir, sorry,
wish this door
has
was open.
gone because we've been travelling for
Check
over
if
an
it's
hour.
Yeah, Gundamir has now gone. He has vanished.
Did he like wave and smile as he vanished?
He was probably behind you. You wouldn't have noticed.
He might have done it anyway.
Yeah, he might have done just for the hell of it.
Right. So, but we can misform for the rest of the day.
You can, yes, as so much you choose.
Should we have a minute to spend in either direction?
The spell does not specify that you can pass through cracks. You're not essentially the same as an air elemental. You are just windy forms of yourself. You can't shrink and condense yourself to fit through cracks.
Okay, so does the... You said there was a metal gate...
It's a pair of wrought iron gates,
Antechamber...
small antechamber, maybe 15 feet across
Mm-hmm.
and 5 feet deep.
And 5 feet across and 5 feet deep.
15.
15.
So it's also it's about the
It's a
doors
grave,
themselves
isn't
take up maybe about 7.5 feet, and you just got some space either side, the
And
benches
then-
and such.
The wooden door presumably fits well into its
Fits well
aperture.
into it, and it's got a single handle.
Right. There. I will stop and spend a minute and change back into me.
You change back into you. You are now you.
And I will back against a wall, sort of the same side as the gate, so people looking through the gate can't see me.
Okay, so you're inside the gate.
Inside the gate.
So okay, so you would have had to
on-
open the gate because you couldn't get because it's wrought iron. It's those sort of square pillar boxes. You couldn't pass through it.
Oh, sorry,
So-
I was thinking of like a barred gate. Okay.
Those crossbar gates. So it's
So
you wouldn't be
can't
able to
get through the iron gate. Okay.
unless you open it.
But you said there's no beings around
No.
yet. Okay, we'll get in, turn into elf, and then
Turn
open the gates,
Okay, open it.
and yes, dart in, and hope everyone else comes in as well.
I'm going to presume so.
How many of you are there?
That's
What's
what I
the
was just
matter?
working the math out on.
What's the matter?
That's a very good
My
point.
skeleton and zombie.
I think
At
there's
least one of them did.
I'm pretty sure there's too many of us.
How many people can it play?
I think I'm just double checking. It's either 10 or you and up to 10. It's you and up to 10 creatures. So
both.
One was
there is
He
a total.
cast it.
He cast it. Gundamir cast it.
Yeah.
There is that's him, and then up to 10 other creatures
1,
from
2,
him.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Which there are
7,
8 of you in the party,
Yeah.
plus the 2
Just,
skeletons.
okay.
No, hang on.
What about
There's
Journalist?
6 of us in the party, aren't there?
There's 7. Oh, actually,
Oh, there's Gerelinus.
Dronelis is with you.
So 7.
There's too many of us now.
No, I think there's enough.
No, there's 7. It was 7. I'm
7
thinking of.
plus-
I'm still counting R2, so there's 9
Yeah.
of you essentially, if you
Plus
include the
the 2.
skeletons.
Plus the 2.
They're fine. They don't have a clue what's going on, but they're fine.
Presumably you have to.
I can.
How do you?
I telepathically, I think.
Can you telepathically communicate with them?
Yeah.
You can also transform out of it and then tell them to do the same thing. Think about being solid.
I mean, I could.
I mean, it's
could
weird
say,
seeing a winged
actually,
skeleton.
Yeah.
Actually, when I get to
Mentally
back
command
to,
any creature.
when
so
I get back to a person, and say, "Everyone, stay as you are. I'll try and open the door, and you can come in as Cloud."
Okay.
So,
I will
last stealth
examine the
mission we
door, see if it looks all right.
Make an investigation check.
let's see if we can get past the first object being stealthily this time.
That is a 15.
Okay. You find that there is no keyhole on the door. It's just a simple ring pull handle.
I will cautiously turn the handle.
Excuse me? How dare you touch that without permission? I don't touch you without permission.
I will take my hand away.
And it is coming from the door.
I'm terribly sorry. I did not expect to speak to anyone at this point. I'm very sorry.
So you should be. And you actually notice now that you're looking at it, the ring pull itself is moving like a mouth, and two particular knots of wood have just opened like eyes, and they're just glaring at you angrily.
I deeply apologise. This, I understand, is the basilica.
'Tis?
And may I ask how one gains entrance?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, this will go well. 16.
16.
Number.
There are instructions that you can find
Where?
if you are worthy.
Pick up the gate.
Do what?
Pick up the gate.
Oh, you've transformed back now. Have you?
Like a hammer. If I am worthy, I can open the gate.
Not that kind of gate. It's not. It's not a full drop-down gate. It's a regular door kind.
There are instructions that I can find if I'm worthy. Worthy according to who?
I don't know. Me, maybe. I don't know.
And what do you value in a person, Sir Dor?
Politeness is a thing. Looking for things.
Looking for things is a virtue.
It helps.
I shall look around,
Make an
paying
investigation
attention to the ceiling and the walls and so on.
Okay, make an investigation check.
That's a crit.
Okay. You look around, looking particularly at the walls and the ceiling. You look around, there isn't anything that particularly draws your eye. You turn your gaze sort of going around this full circle past the doors, and one of them is still slightly closed. You notice there's a slight etching on what would be the lock section of the door. There's that sort of square panel that sits on both sides of the gate, so they close. And you pull them closed, and you can see on the right-hand side there is a small square carved onto it with a small circle on its right-hand side. And on the left there is a saying written in common that says, "Blessed be the Undying," and with a little triangle just pointing towards this square and circle.
Ah, interesting. Cedric, please.
After 1 minute.
Oh, hello.
You said my name.
I did. I was wondering if you could ask one of your little friends to come back to themselves
Which one?
I'll go for the zombie.
after a minute,
After a minute.
and maybe ask him to try opening the door.
Mentally saying, can you please open the door?
Sort of shuffles over, extends a hand, and just. What did I say about touching me?
I'm so sorry.
Zombie's still trying to pull the door open, and
Why is
nothing
the door
happens.
talking to us?
Because it's a magic door.
You would have heard the door
Very
speaking.
special door. Maybe can you stop
Still
the
don't know
zombie?
why it's talking.
Stop the zombie for a moment.
Mentally command the zombie to stop.
But you just sort of see that because he's got his hand in there, it's like. Still holding the ring pull.
Please, can you let go?
Is
A door could look irate.
Doesn't know that I'm doing it.
I do not seem to be able to do anything right today, but is this person worthy of gaining admittance?
Looks at Cedric.
No, I was
The zombie.
gesturing to
Oh,
the zombie.
looks at the zombie. Maybe.
How do we know?
The door could shrug. I just realised I made a shrugging movement, and it's a door.
I mean, it's a magic door. It can do whatever the hell it wants.
I mean, there is that. It's a
the
sentient
metal
door.
can just mould around it.
You've already found the clue. Would it help if I sketched the shape?
I'm trying to sketch it out from what you seem to be saying.
Quick,
Like
the police are coming.
that.
It's not quite a full triangle. The circle is inside the square,
The circle is inside the square.
and the triangle is not. It's not quite full. It's more like a greater than sign, and then words on the other side of it.
Oh right.
So it's like an arrow, essentially.
So they're both on the. Those are on the same side of
The
wall.
the arrow and the words are on the left, and the square within the circle. The circle within the square is on the right. Connor, they're coming after you for all your
being a
piracy.
pirate.
Too soon.
Or is it?
No, or is it?
Would anyone else like to come back and has anyone got any ideas?
So we have a door in front of us
You have a door in front of you.
that only the worthy can open.
Yes.
We're presuming the undead are worthy.
Well, the message says, "Blessed are the undying."
Blessed are the undying.
I materialise and ask the door if I can politely try and open it.
Polite of you to ask. Are you worthy?
Let's find out.
Nope.
Shame, I've been dead. And I'm very old.
Ah, you've been dead.
I mean,
Kifina?
You've not died.
Yeah.
Would you, as far as I know, you've never died.
No, I died.
When did you die?
Well, I mean, thanks for bringing it up. It's
I'm
it's
sorry.
like the
It's
the
only-
second day you met me.
remember she was a mushroom
golly,
for a bit.
Yeah.
Red
Oh my
mushroom
goodness.
Kafina.
That was a long time ago.
For
But
context of that particular story, you listen back to our podcast of Eat, Crit and Survive.
I'm sure it's deeply scarring for you though.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
So
I've got this big boar scar right here.
yes.
Lifts up a
So-
shirt.
Ah, Gerelinus?
Yeah.
Rather personal question.
Is it have I died?
Yes.
Funnily enough, it's not something I tend to tell on the first date. It tends to be
Fair enough.
a later relationship question. No, I haven't.
Well, maybe if you are very polite, the door might let you open it.
Perhaps. Have you said what you've seen on the door, just as a FYI to everyone, or?
No.
I haven't. I probably should. Well, I should explain my reasoning. I found this inscription on this gate which says, "Blessed be undying."
Blessed be undying.
Blessed
Sorry.
be the undying.
No, blessed be undying. That's
Maybe we need a
Three
dead
words.
bee.
Blessed be undying.
Nero, I feel like you're not taking my suggestion very.
Sorry, what was your suggestion?
We need a dead bee.
We need a dead bee.
You the holy bee.
Does the bee in the inscription have a double E?
No, it has a single bee.
Ah,
Well,
There's a
it might
picture
be a
of a bee.
typo. I mean, you can try and find an undead bee if you like.
I will look for an undead
Make
bee.
an investigation check for an undead bee.
natural one.
You're so convinced you will find an undead bee, you turn back into your cloud form and float off and just look around for a good 5 minutes, just looking for an undead insect of some sort.
I didn't find a bee.
Anyway, while you're flying around, I'll probably say to Gerelinus, I wondered if that meant maybe an undead person, but that didn't seem to work. But maybe it's someone who's never died, and all of us have.
Drenlis has a look down at the actual inscription and sort of pulls the gates closed and has a look at it. He turns and looks at the door. Looks back at the picture. I wonder. Looks back at it. It's on the right. Could that be him?
Be.
He points back at the square.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be him? Points at the door.
Well, What, the door there is the door in the inscription?
Yeah,
I assume so. It's the handle on the right of the door.
it is on the right.
Oh,
I mean,
no!
I haven't had one, guys.
Get over yourself. What are you, the DM?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's fine. I've got Tom's got more.
Yeah.
You just bring a Jaffa cake down over them. Thanks, Tom.
I was going to split it in half, but you made me consume that.
Who plays Munchkin? Bribe the DM.
Half
hate
eaten
that
No,
waffle.
Ross has played Munchkin.
Table waffle.
Hate that game.
Table.
Table waffle.
Is that like pocket
It's about to
bacon?
be
Yeah,
small waffle.
I will hurt you.
It's really unthreatening when you've got one of your eyes closed.
You should see the other guy.
Ross will just lean back a little bit.
Just leave forward. God, that was.
Fight me from this
Sorry,
side.
yes.
So, well, yes, I assumed that door was this door. Have you made another leap of logic that I'm failing to see?
I don't know. Did you ever read those? Suppose not. You're not from around.
I'm not from around anywhere.
No.
That other people seem to be from.
Did anyone perhaps read those stories that were designed for children to help them read, and they had pictures to help them imagine?
Picture books.
Sort of.
I've
They
read
had
these.
they had panels of imagery and such. And they had sort of bubbles that indicated when the creature was speaking.
This is an unknown.
I don't know what
art
you're
form
talking
to
about.
me. It sounds fascinating.
I'll find some for you. I've still got my collection. They're mint, obviously.
Obviously.
They taste like mint.
No, well, some of them do. The enchanted ones. Some of them are printed on mint paper. It's quite impressive. But
Why would you want to be able to taste a picture?
it adds to the immersion of the story.
Is the story about mints?
Occasionally,
Interesting.
there was one person who went through this entire sweet production line, and it was wonderful. It had all sorts of smells in there.
Was there a spate of diabetes afterwards?
There may have been. I'm not entirely certain.
Terrible plague.
Bless you, diabetes.
They were
So-
happy.
They were happy. No, it just reminds me of that it could be indicating to something that needs to be said.
So what you're saying is we should go to the door and say, "Blessed be undying," and try and open it.
Maybe.
Walk to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed be undying.
It does not open.
No, that's a silly idea, journalist. Why did we just waste our time listening to you?
Let me respond. Blessed be undying. There.
Journalist, you're a genius! I can't believe we ever doubted you. Thank you, door.
Thank you very much, Sedor.
The door has gone silent. He's quite literally. You can
Did you
only see the back of him
Did you
now.
just kill the door?
Yes.
It's ironic because it likes the dead.
Blessed be undying.
And that's when we're going to take a break as you enter into the Bacilla. So we'll be back in some time. So don't go too far. Person who is still watching, hopefully.
Steve?
Steve
Hey!
is still watching as far
Hey,
as I'm aware,
Steve.
yeah.
You go, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for watching. Good.
Steve's also offered us 2 tripods.
Hey, that's handy.
Is it really a
He
Steve?
also suggested I put
Yeah,
you in
it's
the
Steve.
other eye and steal all the Jaffa cakes. So.
That's also possible.
Please.
Anyway, so yes, we shall come back to this after the break, and we'll see you very shortly. See you in a moment. There you go. And we're back. So, you guys are entering into the sinister bacillus, or basilica. And inside it looks to be essentially a cathedral with rows of benches and an altar that appears to be crafted from bones right at the front. The benches themselves also appear to be crafted from bones, and it looks fucking creepy. The main thing you notice is that there is a white sarcophagus set upon a raised platform in line with what would be the middle finger of the hand, as you're looking at it.
So kind of straight across.
Right at the end, behind the
DM,
altar.
Can I ask you a question?
You may.
The Raven Queen told me what this item looked like, the skull wrapped
Yes.
in burlap
Leather.
leather. She didn't mention whereabouts it was other than in here somewhere.
Yes, correct.
So that is correct.
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
The sarcophagus itself, the lid is pinned down by 4 chains, quite thick.
Not opening that.
Thick metallic chains just sort of locking and holding it in place. There are also 4 doorways that you can see from the centre of this room.
Love a good door.
You do love doors. Which tallies up with where you were outside to where the other fingers are. So one with the little finger, the ring, the pointer and the thumb. Just doorways that seem to lead off of those vestibules beyond them. 2 of them are covered by a fabric of curtain, the little finger and the thumb. The others are just doors, either side of the middle finger.
Is
And-
there anything inscribed on this huge white sarcophagus?
Make an investigation check.
Are we there?
Well,
Just
if
got-
she's going up to have a look at, you've just walked in, so
Oh,
That is so cocked.
and blinds, okay?
I think we need to get you one of the bigger dice trays just so you can not miss.
What was it, investigation?
Mm-hmm.
16.
16. Look around. Nothing appears to be inscribed upon it. There's nothing that you can read anyway. There's a few runes that seem to sort of go around the outside, but you don't understand what they mean.
Can I point these runes out to Gerenelos?
You can. He has a look at them. They appear to be protective wards. Abjuration magic, mostly.
To keep people out or to keep that in?
I don't know.
Okay.
Can't tell.
I'm gonna go for the no one should touch or handle.
Probably not.
Yeah. We're gonna make a
Okay.
group decision to not touch this.
Unless, of course, that's like the only thing we can do.
Of course.
I'm guessing there's no one else in this.
No, it's just
Basilica.
the 7 of you guys. Sorry, 9. 7 of the living people.
And we are now currently all corporeal. Are we
Yes.
saying? Just 'cause
Or
it's
corporeal, as opposed to corporeal.
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 easy. Corporeal.
Not cloudy.
You are physically there.
Non-nimbus.
So, what would you like to do?
I think we should investigate one of these side rooms.
I think we should fully investigate this room first. Is there anything in the shape of a skull in this room?
Make an investigation check.
I will guidance.
Add a d4 to it.
Ooh, it's going to be good then.
Ooh. Investigation.
Yes.
26.
You look around. There are several skulls in this place. There
Lovely.
is one that is placed on the centre of the altar, essentially where the placeholder ribbon that would come out of the top of the altar that would hold essentially the Bible that would come across. There is one there that's facing out.
Is there a book in it?
Is it a human skull?
There is a book there. There's quite a thick one that you cannot read, and it is humanoid.
Humanoid, but not human necessarily.
Correct. It's a little bit bigger than the average human skull.
Can anyone read this?
I'll take a look in case it's in either deep speech or undercommon or draconic or something like that.
It is not.
Fair enough.
Journalist?
No, not that I understand it.
Anything that I can understand?
Elvish, giant, Phallucian,
Yeah,
goblin,
yeah.
druidic.
Yeah.
No.
I'm guessing this is probably something fiendish.
Maybe it's a secret language that
I mean, it
only
might-
they know.
Maybe it is. That could well be right. But
But looking around, yeah, there are other skulls there, particularly on the pews that are set up. There is essentially a skull that forms the arms, just like something that whoever sits on the arm, that's just something for them to put their hand onto. Yeah, essentially.
none of them seem to be made of crystal.
Correct.
Is there anything? I'm trying to think of the in-game term to ask for. Is there a trap door? Is there anything?
Hidden entrances?
You mean a hatch to?
Yeah. Is there a trap door?
What was the roll again? It was a 20.
26.
Not that you found with that investigation roll. There was just the
Holy
4
shit.
entrances that you.
That leads me to believe that there could have been.
We don't have a rogue, so we're not talking about rolls in the 30s.
That's literally.
Well,
You
we
do
do
have
have
a
a rogue.
You have a rogue, but he's not good at investigating. It is
That's
canon.
literally the highest I can roll.
What is it that he's really good at?
I mean, Kalatar's actually pretty
Deception.
good at investigating.
Kelatar is very good at investigating.
Deception, persuasion, stealth, and acrobatics.
Yeah.
If George was to hide really well, do you reckon he could find it?
No.
Okay.
No, there isn't any.
Actually,
There are no concealed doors that you find. Yes,
Oh, you know what would be really
he is
good?
proficient in investigation because he has the hidden depths.
oh,
If I
yeah.
prepared to find traps, that would be really good.
But he
That would have been helpful.
has he only got the. How many expertise things should he have?
Less level, only 2.
He,
He gets
seems
his-
to have 3. Deception, performance, and persuasion.
Oh, I think he's proficient. He's got no. Actually, no. Sorry, it's bards that get the extra one at level 10, I think.
Yes.
And then it's rogues get it at level 6. I think he's got thieves' tools.
Ah, right. Yes, it does say. So
So-
to make up for not being able to find traps, he's quite good at disarming them.
Disarming them, yeah. As long as someone else does the finding.
Love you, Dom.
So I
Hi,
think
Steve.
we should move
Kalatar could look.
to. We're in the middle finger, right?
No, you're in the hand.
We're in the hand.
You're in the hand. The middle finger has got the.
That's where the altar is, isn't it?
Yeah, the altar is sort of. So if you imagine it upside down, essentially, the middle finger is where the coffin is in front of the sarcophagus. Yeah, sarcophagus is in front of it, with the altar in front of that, and then it's the sort of dais. And then you've got the 2 vestibules that are covered by fabric on the index and the ring, and then you've got 2 doors at the thumb and the little finger.
I think we should start at the little finger and work our way across.
It's adorable. That sounds fine with me.
Okay. So you head to the little finger. You open the door, and there is a slight flight of stairs leading downwards. It is unlit. In fact, it is pitch black in here, so Cedric, you have no vision.
I can fix that.
Neither does Kafina or George.
I shall fix that.
You dark visioning everyone.
I will dark vision myself and George, and I presume Kafina will stand somewhere safe and try to do it to herself.
Yes, because she can do that. She will stand somewhere. She goes outside because the front door is still open and does it out there.
Oh crap! What level was that? Level 2, wasn't it?
Nope, that failed. So that is whatever the.
Oh, what does she do to herself?
Nothing major, I think. I don't think it's that bad for.
Fireball.
Yes, level
Vision
2,
is a
yeah.
second
Dark Vision
level,
second level, yeah, so it's
so
not
it's
that
not going to
bad
be a fireball.
That's quite so expensive, really. 2 level 2 slots.
for dealing with the blindness of 2 characters.
Could have just cast dancing lights.
I did wonder why.
Because then I have to maintain concentration on it. This does last for 8 hours.
Plus,
if we have
that
to
lets
concentrate.
people know we're coming.
Yeah,
quite
it
does
obviously.
do that.
There's a few.
Sorry.
But then it's a cantrip.
Sorry,
rather
Mrs.
than
Squeaky
a spell.
Boots.
Let me find it.
Lyra actually sticks her tongue out at you.
What mood is Lyra in? I assume she was still in winter.
She's still in winter just because she's in the Feywild, in the dark.
She's definitely
Whoa,
not in
she
the
hates the
Feywild.
You're a clone?
I imagine she would have sort of brightened up when you were in the paradise.
Oh yeah, she was reasonably happy in there, but waking up again in
Shadowfell
in
has
the
gone back.
Shadowfell.
Gone back
Yeah.
the other way. Right, let's have a look at.
As
Yeah.
determined as
Having-
she is to be here and help, she
Did you-
doesn't like it.
Did you crit earlier?
I did crit her.
Okay, she cast,
Didn't count it.
she cast blur on herself. Another second level spell. Okay, she succeeds on that one, so she manages to do it. Second time she comes back, you just see her just vibrating furiously for a little while, and then suddenly it fades in. I'm back. I'm okay.
Good. Maybe we send one of your friends first?
I'm okay with doing that.
The old constitution-based trap detection method?
Which one? Skin or bones?
Skin.
Okay.
Skin's tougher, isn't he?
I
He
don't
looks
remember.
tougher.
I think he actually might.
Sort of
I
stands
think he
there.
might not be. I think his AC might be lower.
Can't be lower than 8, I'm pretty sure.
But I think he
Skeleton has an
more-
AC of 13.
he has
and
more
zombie
hit
has
points.
8. He has 22. Yeah, he does have more. Yeah, let's
and he
send
has
let's
the
skin
undead
Skin down there.
fortitude thing, doesn't he?
They both do.
I will mentally command Skin
skeletons have
to stumble, hopefully okay,
Okay.
down some
He
stairs.
stumbles down the stairs and he disappears from your sight.
Follow him.
Yeah, sure,
Keep
we'll follow him.
Okay,
keep
You head
your eyes
downstairs.
open.
and you find yourselves in a room. It's about 10 foot high, 50 foot square, which you get the sense it is underground. So you get that musty earthen smell that you get from a room that is just underground. Inside it, you can see that there is a pair of doors about 3/4 of the way up the wall, and there is nothing else in this room at the moment.
Sorry,
I did that.
we've entered in. Have we entered in the middle of a wall?
No, yeah, essentially. Let me just get the image up, just for the sake of showing you the shape of what is there.
So we've come down there, and there is a door, kind of opposite us.
Big square space.
Yeah. It's kind of like those darts cabinets you get in pubs.
Right. So it's not a door. It's like a cupboard.
It's a pair of
door or
cupboard
something.
doors, yeah, essentially.
And there's nothing else in this room.
Nope.
Right. Shall we ask Skin to go and open those doors?
I don't mind.
Why not just do them both at the same time?
Bones
You
could do
would-
one.
Both. I mean, there's.
Is there only one
They're
door?
just like.
I can't
Oh,
see.
sorry.
This is probably the
I
back
think-
thing over there. I can't see.
This is
Anything
just
that's
like a small, like you said, dartboard cupboard.
Can you see here?
I mean, I just can't move anything.
I can move stuff for you.
Yeah, I mean, can you see it from there?
I can.
That's fine then, I can reach.
If it's here, it's on camera. That's all.
We'll worry about that another time. Yeah, we'll try different configurations. We were going to switch it around a bit, we didn't.
Okay.
I think Skin would be a good person to go and try and open the doors.
Sure. I will command Skin to open the door.
Unless, this,
Yes.
you don't have a magical way of opening things from a distance, do you?
I don't, but I believe. And Kavina goes, yeah, I do. I got this hand.
Oh, that would work.
I have to be within 30 feet, though.
I mean,
Which from 2 zombies.
so that's not quite halfway across the room if it's 50 feet.
Slightly less than slightly over halfway.
Well,
But I can do it.
yeah, maybe that instead, and not even risk Skin necessarily.
I'm just going to risk my skin if it's within 30.
It's not likely.
We'll protect you.
Okay. She casts Mage Hand. She walks out into the middle of the room. Goes up to there.
And
Extends the hand out and it takes one of the doors. Locks it into both and just manages to pull them open. And there was a slight flash and there's a dim light that slowly fills the room. It's still in that sort of sepia grey, but there is a slight greenish glow that reveals a series of
Unfortunate events.
glass panel inside the cabinet, and a 15-foot square of mosaic tiles that seems to be etched to and shaped to represent trees and forestry and underbrush.
Sorry, there are glass panels in the cabinet.
Yes.
I'll go over and examine that place.
Okay, you have a look at it, and it's got some writing written on the panel.
Can I read it?
You can. It says, "How many letters are in the answer to this question?"
I'm so glad we got done.
I thought you were going to struggle with this last week.
In what language is it written in?
Common.
Can you repeat that?
How many letters are in the answer to this question?
Are there any more
4.
writings?
I came to
Make an investigation check.
What do you reckon the answer to the
No.
question is?
9. I reckon the answer is the answer.
10.
I mean, I reckon the answer is the answer.
I think the answer is 4, because I believe it's the only number that has the same number of letters in it as it is.
Actually, are you saying this out loud?
I will say yes, I think 4.
I mean, we're discussing it, so it's
Okay,
okay, said
yeah.
out loud.
So as you said, there is a slight crack that appears in the glass,
Mhm.
but it doesn't break.
Can you see anything through the glass?
Nope, completely opaque.
Opaque glass. Interesting.
One can assume that the crack means that you are wrong.
Or you're partway right. There's something else to this.
I know the answer. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4.
Nothing happens.
Maybe you just need to say it more than once and it would have cracked.
I rolled a 10 to see if there was any more writing.
Okay. There's nothing that you see in particular. Not that roll, anyway.
Thanks.
Useless.
This.
Even in game, I am blind.
How many letters are in the answer to this question? I really feel like 4 is the answer to that. You say the mosaic tiles show a scene of forestry, or is it sort of a pattern that suggests it?
It's a bit of both. It essentially looks like it's a forestry as seen from above, and there's just sort of all sorts of undergrowth that is made as part of it.
Do the tiles move?
A little bit. There's a little bit of a shimmer, like there's sway in the wind.
I meant the physical tiles.
Oh, the physical tiles, no. Just the pattern across them seems to shift. Just so slightly.
Hmm. You say when I said 4, one of the panels cracked slightly.
It's the front panel, yes.
The front.
So the etching on it is that it's essentially one full panel,
Mhm.
but you can see that beyond there are essentially multiple panels going behind it. Can't really see how many.
And where was the question written?
On the front, on the very front panel, right in the centre.
And
Do you
that's what's cracked.
A slight crack in the on the side.
Do you reckon we should? That now means that we can break it
Can try.
with the team's permission.
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 I'm willing to
Par.
give that a try.
Probably best to stand back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to do this, or should we
Mhm.
ask the zombie?
Nah, I don't want to leave it to chance.
I mean, we only
Oh,
want to
don't
crack
talk about
the front
skins
one,
at the
so
way.
this
I
calls
just
for
Can I
delicacy.
just
Make an attack roll.
$23?
Nothing happens. And did you have a look at it? Hasn't even scratched the glass. Even with your great sword.
Maybe
Can I
we
just
should have
rub
got skin to do
run
it.
my thumb over the crack and over the wording.
You rub it over the crack. You don't actually feel the crack. You can just see that there is. You can see that it's there. It's kind of like when you break a car window from the inside. And you've got that sort of laminate in between the two panes. So the front looks fine and it feels okay, but it's on the inside. And the rub against the wording, it just feels like it's been etched.
I can always hit it harder.
Cedric, make a perception check.
Sure thing.
Being over-deceptive. You rolled another 1.
No. 9.
9. Okay.
You rolled a 2.
3.
3.
Your keen eyes have managed to sort of catch a sort of a flutter of movement. You sort of look around, you can't find the source of it.
Is something in here with us? Potentially?
There was something.
I think I saw something fluttering around, but I don't know where it is now.
Both of you make perception checks.
It's my third 19 of the night, so
Nice.
26.
26. Asher?
17.
17. Okay. Lyra, you sort of look around a bit and you sort of see just sort of floating up right into the top corner of the side where you came in, that there is what looks to be something like a piece of paper that's just sort of floated up and then sort of catching on a slight breeze.
How high's the ceiling?
10 feet.
Oh, not very then.
No.
Should,
Now it's pointed out to you, you can reach up and
I
grab
mean,
it.
that's
Just
so
want to
could Lyra
go-
as well, to be fair. But
yeah. Oh.
Have a look. Unfurl it. It says literal.
the answer.
You want to say? I mean,
What does the text read again?
Literal.
No, sorry. What is on the
Oh,
on the question?
how many letters are the answer to this question? Or are in the answer to this question, sorry. You get the sense that 4 is correct, but there might be something else that is at play.
there are 4 letters. My brain's hurting, and so's Lyra's. I'm sure. Chat is screaming at us with millions of viewers.
No, yeah,
All of them.
The tumbleweed is definitely not blowing in the chat right now.
No metagaming, guys.
We can see the viewer graph, and it goes what?
It's fine.
Hmm.
It's a test run.
So
Can't exactly tell anyone this was what was happening.
it.
And the text said literal.
Literal. Yeah.
Is there a door? Yeah.
The door. There's a door at the top of the stairs, and then there's the door for the cabinet.
I'm gonna knock on the door 4 times.
Nothing happens.
One of you is equally as stuck as we are.
I'm going to try touching the mosaic.
Okay.
Is it solid?
It is.
But there's a slightly moving picture on it.
Yes.
Journalist, what do you make of all this?
Intelligent NPC. I'm not sure. If 4 appears to be the answer.
But not all of the answer.
How many? What's the question?
How many letters
Letters.
are in the answer to this question?
The answer is 4, but it needs more. 4.
T4.
4 letters. Or
But if it was 4 letters, the answer wouldn't be 4 anymore.
but is that not part of the answer?
It would be a bit of a tautology to have how many letters are in the answer to this question. 4 letters.
This is the literal answer.
I mean, let's say F-O-U-R.
That also works.
You say F-O-U-R. Nothing happens.
What about... What about...
Is this an idea you've submitted to an escape room?
No.
Yet.
Will be now.
Will be. Yeah, this is a good one. When you get the answer to this one, it won't always work.
I'm not going to ignore that in case that confuses me more. How many letters are in the answer to this question? How many letters are how many letters are in the answer to this question? I mean, that's a lot of counting, but that could be it. How many letters are in the answer to this question?
Roll an intelligence check for Kalatar. Because bard for bard things.
Oi! That was very
Roll
much.
better. Roll a better intelligence check for the bard.
Intelligence check. We got ourselves a 15.
15. Kalatar goes and has a look around and looks at the piece of paper. I wonder if it might be something to do with the number of things. We need 4 of something.
Is there 4 of anything in this room?
Make a perception check. Thought it was D6 for a second.
Hey, we got ourselves a 25.
25. I mean, there are pairs of shoes, there are various weaponries, bits of weapon. There doesn't appear to be any 4 unique things. I mean, there's you guys. There's 9 of you in here.
What if 5 of us leave the room?
We send all of the NPCs out.
I will send Skin and Bones out the room,
Okay,
just to stand on the stairway.
so that's 2.
Fee can probably leave, and she'll be happy about that.
Sure.
George?
How about we
Sure.
just keep it to us 3 and Drellness?
I just realised I forgot to
Either Drellness or Kalatar.
Drellness.
What, leaves or stays?
We'll keep
One of them stays and one of them leaves.
Just have Kalatar leave.
George. Kalatar leaves. As Kalatar leaves the room, you just hear glass panel breaks. Which you then notice has revealed another message.
Oh, what does the next message say?
How far can you walk into the forest?
Without making a sound. If you do, does anyone hear
Does
it?
anyone hear it?
Okay. So the forest. Can we actually step into the mural?
You can.
How many steps can I take?
As many as you want.
What, into the actual?
There are 3. It's a 3x3 square,
So it's a 15 by 15 square.
essentially.
Yeah.
But it is 3. Essentially, as you look at it, it's 3 squares by 3 squares.
15 feet.
It's 15 feet across on any direction.
Oh,
How far can you walk into the forest?
you just say 15,
Mhm.
just say 15 feet.
15 feet?
Nothing happens.
I don't like these games.
It's a stupid idea. What kind of answer
I
is
will
that?
walk across the forest.
Okay, which way do you walk across it?
From there, that way.
Okay, walk across it and you keep going. Nothing happens.
Get right across it to the other side.
Oh, did you stop in the middle? Or did you keep going all the
I
way?
kept going.
You walk right across, nothing happens.
How far can you walk into the forest?
We can't, we're above it.
Nothing happens.
I solved the last one, so.
The DM was generous and you solved the last one.
I got there.
I've got it.
I miss
No,
the
I'm
forest.
trying to force an epiphany.
That's been called the spot. Dead. Connor knows the answer to this one. It is
12.
Nothing happens.
Such a stupid idea.
Phone a
3?
friend.
They say 3. Does anything happen?
1.
Nope.
2.
No, nothing
Yeah.
happens.
Well, no.
Nothing happens again.
All the way.
Nothing happens.
As far as I want.
As far as I want.
Nothing happens.
Not at all.
Nothing happens.
Loosey goosey, loosey goosey.
The literal paper flutters in your hand again.
Infinitely.
Nope.
Not at all.
Nope.
No one likes forests. Forests are dumb.
Maybe
like
we should burn this down. I'm just going to put a break.
We have a really bad reputation of saying things that are really far too soon for things going on, given what's going on in the Amazon at the moment.
Yup.
It's fine. Just a bit of deforestation.
What, after the sanctuary? And
Yeah, that's what I was kind of referring to. God. You're terrible people.
Have a bit of forest. There is no spoon.
He's going to think about it.
Spoon. I know.
Too inspiring.
Don't fucking
What,
give it
what
to
are
me.
you doing?
Regardless of what we do, our karma has no hold on us.
You just inspired the law.
No, you can't inspire.
Reciting some random
Spiel, hoping that might
Sure,
be the
make a
answer.
wisdom check.
Oh my god.
Your brain explodes. You become a forest.
We are looking at a 12 there.
12. It does not help.
Stupid idea that was.
Kalatar, have you got any ideas?
Pokes his head back into the room. What's the question?
He's still in the room. Oh no.
No,
No,
he's
you have to
them
leave
all
the
out.
room.
Yeah.
Drenanus, any thoughts?
I mean, we could also ask.
I mean, I suppose the philosophical question is, when do you stop walking in and start walking out?
How big is the forest?
It's 3 by 3.
30.
Nothing happens.
60.
Maybe just walk in and stop on the middle square.
You walk in, stand on the middle square.
Yeah, and not
Upright.
over.
No, laying down. Gonna relax.
No. Yeah, there you go. Panel breaks. Revealing another panel.
Yay.
What does that panel say?
What does the next
Oh,
panel say?
wise man.
The third panel says 4 hang, 4 sprang, 2 point away, 2 to ward off dogs, 1 dangles after, always rather dirty. What am I?
So
It's a very long riddle.
FOUR?
4 hang, yes, 4 hang, 4 sprang, 2 point the way, 2 to ward off dogs, 1 dangles after, always rather dirty. What am I?
4 hang, 4 spring.
2 point the way,
Wait,
2 to ward off dogs.
Always
1 dangles after, always rather dirty. What am I?
1 to ward off dog.
2 to ward off dogs. 1 dangles after.
Always
Always
rather dirty.
Always rather dirty.
Sprang.
1 remains.
Mhm.
What was the actual thing? 1.
One dangles
after, always
Rather dirty. Yes.
After. Oh, you've already read that line. He's written to always,
Yeah.
always rather dirty.
What have you done to your hand, Colin?
I was just wondering that.
You've been hitting things again.
44221.
Nothing happens.
Worth a punt.
Literally.
I mean, this seems like a more traditional riddle. It's not one I'm familiar with. Hmm.
Dangles afterwards.
What wards off dogs?
I mean, hands or feet, possibly. Wards off dogs. What does ward off dogs?
Bear traps.
Two bear. Yes, something that has two bear traps.
Hey, look. You forehang, then they sprang.
I mean, yes. You wouldn't need two of them
Do they
to ward off
point
dogs.
the way?
Yeah, I was going to say, bear traps don't really point the ways.
Compass points the way.
That's what I was thinking.
But it doesn't hang or sprang.
It can hang.
Does it sprang?
Sprang isn't a word.
It very much is a word.
Yes,
Past tense of sprung.
Past tense of spring.
Mm-hmm.
No, sprung.
Sprung is also past tense.
Yeah.
It's
Sprung.
perfect instead of imperfect.
Well, there you go then. We learned something, kids. Today's episode is brought to you by the word spring. As we
The
ironically
verb spring.
go into autumn and winter.
I wish. Oh.
It's surprisingly warm today, isn't it?
It is actually still kind of mid-August. It's allowed to be quite warm.
It is, yes. Anyway,
I-
are you asking the chat? Are you googling things?
I'm writing today's session is brought to you by the word spring.
I'm.
To whoever's watching still. Hi, Steve. Other suggestions coming into the chat. Well, I don't actually want you to look at the.
Steve has been suggesting stuff. He said it's an ancient riddle, and he said hi.
Okay, so I'm gonna say let's close the chat
But
now,
I'm gonna close the chat.
because although that would be fun, it kind of ruins the thing. So
Okay, so there are 13 things in this riddle, kind of. Possibly. 4 that hang,
Yes.
4 that sprang,
Yes.
2 ward off
Yeah. What is
dogs.
sorry? What is the very beginning? Does it literally go straight in on forehang?
four sprang, yes.
Okay.
4 hang, 4 sprang, 2 point the way, 2
Two
to ward off dogs, 1 dangles after, always rather dirty. Jared's mind.
Or always dangles behind.
Oh!
Asher doesn't know who Jared is, so
It doesn't really work. My instant thought was like cans. But it's completely not really D&D related. It's cans hanging from the back of like a just married car.
As you said, it's something ancient. This is old. This is something.
Okay, what can hang?
People.
People can hang.
4
sprang.
Picture
You can hang a picture.
or painting.
it's always fun to watch in these sessions when the players just completely go out of character because they can't think.
Is there anything hanging?
Only the cabinet.
Has anything else appeared in the room?
Is anything hanging in the forest?
There was nothing hanging in the forest that you can see. No, there isn't anything.
Oh.
What's the thought, Cedric?
Sprang in relation to seasons, and then I was thinking about 4 and leap years.
Wow. Is that how wide we're going?
Leap years don't exist in this world.
Well,
It's a perfect.
that's me stumped.
I'm trying to think what has 13 of anything.
Make a nature check. Cedric, you can make one as well, because why not? You're the
Nature.
druid.
15.
Sure.
15? Okay. I'll wait for Cedric to do
I
this.
will guidance myself.
Sure. That should be 4.
Hey. That is a 15.
Both 15s. Okay, that sounded a lot more dramatic than I thought it was going to be like
No.
26. No. Okay. The 4 hanging 4
Spranging.
sprang.
See?
4 hanging
See
4
why
springing.
Why we disagree with the spranging?
There is an image of something that
Once a
where 4 things hang. It's a particular creature.
Cow.
I have 6 of
So 6 others.
4 things.
No?
They're 4.
No, 4.
Yeah.
6. I don't know my cow
I
anatomy.
believe I'm the druid here.
Okay, so
Sorry, blessed one.
okay, so a cow.
Yep, they spring too.
I mean,
Do they?
4.
No,
They have 4
maybe they're frogs.
hanging udders.
Yes.
4 hanging teats, technically, but
Does anything on them
Sprang.
No.
2 to ward off dogs, 2 horns, 2 to point the way. Maybe it's the same 2. They can point the way and ward off dogs. And then a tail dangles behind, always rather
Is it a
dirty.
bull?
Pig.
nothing happens.
Bull. Cow.
Again, that same slight crack in the glass.
Bull.
But cow.
Already tried.
Yeah, I'm just trying it again.
Nothing.
Steal the
Antler.
show here.
Hmm?
What? It's
Antlers.
half the answer is
I'm-
cow.
It's interesting because actually, no, hang on.
I don't know, Ross! I hate riddles!
Half the
cow-
answer is cow, so say cow something.
Cowator.
I mean, that's
cow-
better than nothing.
Can't have both
Shut
the
the fuck.
teeth and the horns.
Poetic license.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Species.
that's why I went.
Okay.
Bulls are kind of you look in the field, you kind of go, yeah, they're cows. You don't really say.
I was
no,
chased
my-
by a herd of bullocks while I was on holiday. That
What?
was fun.
Imagine were you
I'll
wearing a
tell
red
about it
shirt?
later. That's a fallacy. But,
I know they. it's
Cowbell.
movements.
Cow. Cow parsley.
Cowabunga.
Ah, that ancient ASMR saying.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga, dude. I still think it's Cowtor.
Cowpat.
Kahuna.
No.
Cow. How now, brown cow?
Cowosaurus.
Cowsaurus Rex. No.
Kawasaki.
No.
Cowabunga.
Already tried that, Ross. Go.
Okay, literal. It's not just going to be. So, cow is right a little bit.
What if cow is just the first word?
How can cow.
Cow can cow sprout.
How. How.
Oh
do
no.
we-
How now, cow?
I mean,
cow?
with the other clues, it wasn't. We had to have 4 people in the room, and then I had to actually walk to the middle of the forest.
Yeah, go on. See if there's a cow in there.
I will turn into a cow.
Hey, and the glass shatters, revealing a final panel that says,
What is the
Rage.
final passing?
Rage.
which says, if I have a bee in my hand, than what is in my eye. Sorry, Connor.
Unbelievable.
Bee in my
Sting.
hand.
Moo.
The bee in my hands than what is in my eye.
A stinger.
This bee does have a double E.
It is double E for a bee.
You can go looking for another undead bee.
I will stop being a cow.
Okay. The glass
Yeah,
reform.
that's very funny.
And you're trapped behind it.
Sorry, if I have a bee in my hand, what is in my eye?
Yes.
Love. Pain.
Tears.
Fear.
Tears?
No.
No.
aggression.
Light.
Honey.
Nope.
Honeycomb.
I just like the idea of you guys just shouting random words into an empty room.
Well, the thing is,
When was previously occupied by a
saying
cow.
words is giving us
Yeah.
clues.
I know. It's just entertaining watching these in
Holland?
character. You guys, quite intelligent characters, just sort of shouting random words
queen.
out.
Death.
Nature?
Sunshine.
And
What is in my eye?
Pain.
No. I'm not talking about personal experience at the moment, Connor.
If you're doing that and you're looking at
A bee.
there's a bee.
Do you have a default that goes with that, dice, Ross?
bee in my hand. What is in my eye?
Money.
An image of a bee.
No, but I like what you're thinking.
You've said.
Are you
light.
the beholder? Obviously not.
Beauty?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh.
Beauty and the Bee.
Does he make a persuasion check?
Yeah.
Who are you persuading?
The Bee.
17.
It shatters, revealing behind it a small wheel that looks like a ship's wheel, but the spokes are made from finger bones, and there's the outer ring is made of chain. And yes, it was Beauty in the eye of the bee holder.
Oh, for God's sake.
That took me a while to get as well when I came across it on the internet, and I went, oh.
Oh, I see. We're using Reddit fucking riddles. I see.
Oh,
So none
we're,
of
in
that
the, we're in
shit
the house of a
happened.
really dark cult
Yeah.
then.
How far down the rabbit Reddit hole did you go to find this?
Not
stuff?
very.
No.
No.
Just scratch the
This was on.
surface.
This was on.
of the
That
idiocy.
particular one was on GCSE. Children's
Jeez.
GCSE riddles.
No wonder all the grade results are down for this country. That's the sort of shit they're asking. Doesn't even make sense.
It's
Can
what I
we
came
do
across.
anything with
It's
that?
what I came
much
across a
preferred
number of years
sort
ago
of
when I was at
ones.
school. Anyway,
What can we do with the wheel?
It's a wheel,
Jordan.
What happens
But
if
I
we
feel
turn
like what's going to happen is that one of the chains on the sarcophagus upstairs is going to loosen.
Go up and have a look.
What, turn the wheel first, or...
No, you go up there and have a look at the sarcophagus. I'll turn it, and then you can come back down and tell me if there is anything that's happening.
you've got the rest of your companions just sort of standing around not doing
I
anything.
mean,
at the
yeah.
moment.
Sure,
Ask
send up
them
the
to go
NPCs.
up.
Alright, they go. They
This is
stand
what
there.
happens when you don't turn up, guys. We use you as fodder.
You go.
On the other hand, we might be in the room that's about to fill with poison gas.
That's
or
fine.
Fire.
Okay.
Or
I could,
lightning, no
Poison,
my luck.
poison fire gas.
I
That's full of
could
lightning.
use skins or bones.
They can't
Sure,
really report
sure.
back.
Let Bones turn the wheel.
Okay.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Or
I
Bones.
renamed Bones Jesus. Jesus, can you take the wheel?
And you go and have a look at the sarcophagus. One of the chains has withdrawn.
Oh boy.
So yes, what we are doing is in fact what we said
How many
as a
chains were
group that we are not trying to do. Sorry?
So, if there's 4 chains, does that mean we have to endure what we just did 3 more times?
It might not be quite the same thing in the other rooms.
You watch Ernest, I'm starting to think that your cousin isn't worth it.
I mean, he was a bit of a dick.
Let's go to the thumb.
The thumb?
Let's see what happens.
Okay,
in the
you go across to the thumb, which has got a...
That's another door.
It's
isn't
another door. Okay, you open the door. Similar sort of staircase going down. This one, you enter in, and there is a round room, about 20 feet across, with a pedestal with a single curved, dome-shaped button on the top of it, and for no reason that you can discern, a sheep standing there tied to a pedestal. And as it sort of turns its head to look at you coming in, you can see that the skin on one side is slowly falling away. It's just the bones and teeth below just the jaw you can see of the sheep just sort of sitting there, just looks at you.
I feel like maybe this is something for people better at magic to look at. Kelatar? Or Duelinus? Or...
I'm offended that you suggested that Kelatar should go in with a sheep. On Matt's behalf.
Your brain went there, mine didn't.
Yeah, Matt's brain would have gone there as well, which is quite funny. Yes, you want me?
Behold the situation.
That's a sheep. What are you trying to insinuate?
I am insinuating nothing. I don't even know... Are there sheep where you're from?
Yes, the sheep where they're from. We quite enjoy mutton.
Good for you. My
Do you know what a
point
sheep
was-
is?
Yes.
Just checking. I don't know whether there's sheep where you come from.
There are some. They tend to be a bit weirder than the ones I've seen in...
That's a
yeah.
weirder sheep than I've ever seen.
I haven't seen one quite like that before, I'll admit. But I meant this whole situation. There's a pedestal with a button, and tied to the pedestal is a sheep with half its face falling off.
That sounds
Does this
sounds
say
stupid.
anything to you?
It sounds stupid when you say it like that.
Well,
Are we supposed
I'm
to do something
sorry.
with the button?
I'm gonna press the button.
Okay, press the button. The door slams shut,
Brilliant.
and then there is just a flash of red numbers that just appear. It says 10,
I'm waiting for the 9.
9.
There it is.
Is it counting down?
8,
I can wait.
7.
I can't...
Can I press the button again?
Sure. 10,
Oh.
9,
See, look, we've got time.
8, 10,
I will
9.
try
8.
to communicate with
10.
the sheep.
Okay,
Um,
I'm not going to say it because Ross is saying things, so I'm going to do this instead.
Thanks for holding it up.
Sorry.
Allow me to squint.
I haven't got a thing.
That's fine. Assume that every time it gets to 8, I
You
hit the
re-hit
button
it?
again.
Okay, fine.
obviously, it can't necessarily. I mean, I can kind of understand its thing.
I'm gonna. Is it bad when that reaches 0?
I'm not entirely certain what it's eating, but it's just chewing.
It's probably chewing.
Is the sheep a real sheep?
I'm going to pet the sheep.
Is it? Yeah. Is it like an illusion?
No, it's a real sheep, and the numbers are actually appearing on its wool as well,
Oh.
which is kind of weird. So on the side and on the wool. But every so often it just sort of goes 8, 10, 9, 8, 10!
It's a real sheep. And it's not responding to me.
Can't
So
you
what?
tell the
So what does it
sheep's
start
intent
chewing
here?
on its own lip?
I wouldn't do that.
Make a persuasion check.
It's not gonna be bad. Or not. 15.
You get really excited.
Let's
about
go
fat
with-
rolls.
Yeah, let's go
I
with its
do.
lip.
If it's above 10, it's good.
Yeah, let's go with its lip. Sort of looks at you doe-eyed.
Is it doe-eyed or is it you-eyed?
It looks at you.
Get out.
It looks at you.
Nice.
Asher, maybe we should let the timer
Oh,
run
good,
out.
because I was getting bored of hitting it. It didn't do anything.
7, 6, 5,
Are all of us in the room?
4, 3, and the numbers turn red, blood red on the sheep.
They were already red, weren't they?
I think I said that in haste, and then because colour in this world, there isn't a lot in this particular realm. But now you can see that there is.
I will restrain the sheep.
Make a grapple check. Make an athletics check against the sheep. Yeah, that's about right. Let's roll a dexterity check for a sheep.
13.
13. 2.
I might die doing this, but who knows?
1.
Sheep explodes.
10.
Are we really sure this is something that we want to do?
9.
I mean,
I don't know what
the number just changed to blood red when it got dangerous.
Is there
What
anything
else?
else around in this room?
Can we open the door again?
Nope. Make an investigation check whilst holding the sheep.
Let
Do you
me
think
make
this is
the
something
invest-
that we should?
Sure,
I will,
you-
guide,
you
I will
hold it.
guidance you as you're doing it.
4.
Is this something that we should be summoning 2 dire wolves? All of a sudden, I'm rattled. You're rattled.
15.
2.
Not much change, I've
You look around. There is nothing obvious that you can see.
Well done.
1. 10.
Literally, last chance before I kill a sheep.
Whoa, why are you killing the sheep?
Because the sheep is bothering me.
I mean, it's,
8.
it's just here. The numbers are the thing that's.
I'm gonna help Cedric restrain the sheep.
Sure. You grab onto the sheep.
Oh
Sure.
no!
Is it with advantage? Because I'm already grappling it?
Yeah,
It
sure.
doesn't matter unless I crit.
What was it?
athletics is strength's at 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be 29.
Yeah, you're fine. You're holding Cedric.
Nelson.
You're holding Cedric and the
You so
sheep.
much as meh, wrong. I'm gonna twist it. I'm gonna twist the neck if it does something.
Jesus. I wouldn't move. I say to the
6.
sheep. Sheep. It's a sheep. Sheep.
The sheep sort of.
Because
nods
the two wolves.
5.
Whoa. It was lovely knowing you all.
4. 3.
Trying to reach for it with my foot. I can press it again.
2. 1. Are you letting it go?
The sheep? No. I'm not pressing the button. I'm just
0. The numbers blink out.
power kill.
The button retracts and reveals a small circle similar to a ship's wheel with bone and chain.
Fantastic. I love that one much more than the ribbons.
Okay.
I'll go and just spin it.
Here, a second chain unlocking.
Does the door open?
It does.
I never mistrusted you, sheep.
Everyone feeling okay?
I say to the sheep, would you like me to set you free? I will break the chain. Is there like a...
Sure, make a strength check. Or an attack roll, whichever you prefer. You can attack it with your axe.
Just a strength check. I probably should attack it with my axe, actually. I'll attack it with my axe because I'm much more,
Sure, why not?
much more able to do that. 17.
17. Doesn't break.
Oh.
Chain is hard to break because it's made of steel. No, iron, but whatever. Both.
Having trouble over there.
Steel and iron. Yes, I'm trying to break the sheep free.
Oh, I see.
Breaker of chains.
Yes.
You've got to be careful with
Father of sheep.
You'll never break the chain.
that. Got to be careful with that. You might turn into.
Where does the train lead? To the plinth.
It's just looped
Chains
around. It's
into
just looped around the
yeah.
plinth.
Oh, you know.
And can we just lift it off the top?
Yeah, you just lift it
Yeah.
off the top. You've just got a chain lead for a sheep.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a new friend.
The
Or is it a
direwolves are
snack
looking.
for your-
The direwolves are looking at the sheep. The sheep's looking at the direwolves, just sort of
Is the sheep
Okay.
undead?
Shall we move
a
on?
little bit.
Half of its face is hanging off.
Okay, let's try another room.
Cedric's still carrying the sheep. I just imagine Cedric just
Yeah.
wandering around carrying this
Football and
undead
sheep, yeah.
sheep.
I'm going to keep the sheep
Okay,
safe.
which one do you want to go to?
We've done them. And the middle room is the sarcophagus, right?
Correct. It's
So,
where the sarcophagus is sort of lying.
Pointer or ring?
Ring finger.
Ring finger.
Ring finger. Alrighty. So this room that you enter into, this is behind a curtain into the vestibule, leads down again, leads into a 30-foot long corridor, about 10 foot high and wide, and is littered with fragments of bone just across the floor. On the wall is a socket that looks very similar to the wheels that you have turned previously. But above the socket there is an inscription. Those that shine in light's drift, be placed here, made to fit.
Those who shine in light's drift shine here, made to fit.
No, be placed here, made to fit.
Shooting star.
A magic missile.
I'm going to say for the ease of this, it's just the three of you down there and your sheep and dire wolves.
And the zombie and the skeleton.
And the zombie and the skeleton. Leave the rest of the party out of the way just because until you need them.
We made a whole new party. We don't need them anymore.
Yeah, you've got the two dire wolves, the undead creatures, and
How
the
long did
zombie
the dire
sheep.
wolves last?
An hour.
Oh, that's right. Should we carry on along the corridor?
Well, that socket's right at the end of the corridor.
That's at the end of the corridor. Is
Correct.
there no door?
There is no door.
So it's just effectively a long room because it doesn't lead anywhere.
Pretty much, yes.
Are there any traps?
Make an investigation check.
Good shout.
I mean,
I will
apparently
guidance.
gone all the way along because
I mean, it's not that difficult to read from a distance.
10.
That's the shape of it. 10, you find no traps.
Yeah, that's completely safe. I'll go up and examine the hole.
Okay. It just looks like the socket that is fit to shape exactly the same as the ship's wheel that you've used previously.
Okay, maybe we should grab one of the other wheels and put it in there.
I have a distinct feeling that won't work.
But how do you know?
I don't know for certain. If you want to go and
I'm
try
going to go
one-
and grab the one from the sheep wheel, please.
Make a strength check.
24.
You snap it off, and it's got a slight metal. I think of the right word for it. Little metal rod. That seems
Spindle.
yeah, kind of. That's made to connect to it, so it obviously turns something.
Take it into the.
You try and shove it in there, and it doesn't fit.
We try it.
Maybe it needs to be mended. Maybe it needs to be mended.
I can't do that.
Well, I know, but maybe we could get someone down here who can do that.
Kafina!
Yeah.
Can you mend this into this hole?
I'm not sure that's how it works. I
We'll
mean,
just try.
Have you tried?
not one of her regular cantrips.
Stand back.
Well, it's a cantrip. They don't hurt.
They don't hurt.
I don't trust
it does work, however. She is proficient in being able to do that bullshit. So she, after a while, she just no, it doesn't really. It because that's not the thing that it broke off.
Oh, well, try.
Right. Okay.
Throw it.
Those who-
As you throw it, Asher, it sort of spirals off and just goes out the door and up.
Like sort of like flips and like as if it's
You
returning
just
back to its
stabilise it like
point.
Captain America's shield.
Oh,
just
okay.
flies off.
who shine in light's drift.
Those who shine
In light's drift.
in
Life's drift.
life's drift.
Be placed here,
Be placed here.
made to fit.
Those who
Terrible
shine
half rhyme, but it will do.
Life's drift. Be put here,
Placed here. Made,
made
to
to fit.
fit. Those who
Does the
shine
shape
in light's
Remind
drift.
us of anything.
Finger bones and chain.
Finger bones and chain.
Like what the wheels.
Like the other wheels are made of.
Would like one of my hands fit in?
No. There's not enough finger bones in your hand to fit it.
Those who shine life's drift.
You'd also have to extract them from your hand, which would be painful. You would also not have your hand anymore.
You think that this isn't painful?
Those who shine in
I
light's
mean, the main thing, you wouldn't be able to use Shatterfang anymore.
Be alright.
Life's drift. Does life's drift mean time? Does it mean death? Does it just mean the passage of a life? Life's drift. Does anyone have a spell that makes light?
Yes, several.
Yes.
Want to try those.
I'll try dancing lights because that's the most drifty of the spells, and then I will
Pop to existence.
make one of them fit.
Nothing happens.
While the lights are down here, is anything else?
There isn't any
become
other lights
visual?
down here.
Maybe we need to put the light spell on the wheel that you threw away, and then try to insert it.
Sure, let's try that.
I will
Go and
cast.
get the
Cast
other
light
light.
on the wheel.
Okay, make a strength check because it's gone back to the
I
room.
literally just reattached.
Yep.
Okay. I wanted to be like full on statting.
No, unnatural 20.
Okay, tears off again. Have it.
Cast light on it,
Okay,
and then try and place it into the hole.
nothing happens.
Can't believe you made me do that. Can we cast light into the hole?
You can. It's lit up.
And then put the wheel in.
Nothing happens.
I get the feeling like the wheel might have nothing to do with it.
Well, this wheel might have nothing to do
Yes.
with it.
Is there any wheel-shaped holes anywhere else in the room?
Make an investigation check.
This is just a socket.
Natural 20.
Okay. You do not find any other holes on the ground, but you do find, as you sort of move some of the bones that are on the ground, that there is traces of what looks to be a sort of dried liquid. And you sort of scratch your finger against it. And blood. Sort of iron.
Oh, I
it's
forgot
dried
there
blood.
were bones on the floor.
Yes.
Is there any chain?
There is a very small piece of broken chain links on the ground.
Can we make a wheel?
That was my thinking.
Potentially,
Let's make a wheel.
Of fortune.
you can with picking up the pieces of chain, but it's still missing the spokes, which were the finger bones.
Find particularly finger bones that have the blood on them.
How many do you need?
The
8?
10.
10.
10
I thought
fragments of the finger bones.
We could borrow Bones' his finger bones, but he only has 8.
Unless it counts the thumbs.
Thumb bones are differently shaped.
So
I mean,
too
search
short.
through the bones to try and find.
Okay, make an investigation check.
I mean, you got it.
No, I haven't.
No.
12.
Okay, you search through, and there's a lot of bones because it's colouring this entire floor. There are plenty that have got blood on them, but none that are glowing or obvious to you.
I will cast Detect Magic.
Okay,
Are any of them glowing?
they are not.
Does anything else in the room glow?
Yeah.
You guys, the wolves, the sheep,
The wolves.
Nothing else. the wolves, because they've been
Oh, the
summoned.
wolves.
The
Oh,
wolves.
I know. Sheep. Can you pick out the bones that we need, please?
The sheep looks at you because you're still holding it.
I mean, I'll look up it. And then
It looks up at you, and a sort of and the sense you get from the sheep is, I've never been in this room before. I spent most of my life chained to that plinth.
What if I cut
Life.
myself and put it on some of the bones?
Okay, you sprinkle it over a few of them. There is one piece that starts to glow.
Ah,
Nice.
life's drift
Mm.
being blood. Okay.
Pick
I've
up the
got
one.
a sheep.
I don't know if this sheep. Do you bleed?
Shakes his head.
I will cut my hand as well.
Okay.
And sort of sprinkle
Smear it.
over stuff a bit.
Okay. Someone heal me! Red wedding hit. Okay, you start sprinkling blood over it. Each of you manage to cover a 5-foot area of it, so you get a couple of pieces.
So we each get a couple of pieces?
No, you Total.
Total. We get a couple.
Mm-hmm. It is a 30-foot long room by 10. No 10 pieces to find.
So we found 2. We need 8 more.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Keep
do it.
bleeding. Keep bleeding, love. You're helping. Okay, you bleed. Is that both wrists or just one?
Take it.
Okay, you sprinkle all blood on it. You get another couple.
Guys, we might need some help down here.
Come down. Killatar. What do you need? Why are you
blood.
bleeding?
Because we need to find the particular finger bones that shine when we bleed on them.
This sounds like a terrible idea.
I know, this whole thing.
Takes a dagger. Slices across. By the way, each of you take 3 points of damage from cutting yourselves. You as well, Asher, when you get a chance. And for Kalatar.
Yeah.
He starts sprinkling off. That's another bit. Should I just keep... I mean, we could just keep bleeding. We wouldn't have to keep cutting everyone.
I think we were just sharing the load.
Maybe 4 of us is enough if we just keep bleeding for a while and
Keep bleeding. Sorry.
sprinkle it a bit.
Sprinkle around. Okay. You each take another 3 points of necrotic damage. Just from blood loss. Halved for you, Asher. Because you are resistant to necrotic damage, being Asimar.
I'm
2.
69.
Nice.
Only you'd appreciate that.
Just put it in the chat. 69. No, don't. Someone else will. Alright, each of you make a constitution saving throw, please.
Sure thing. And Kalatar?
And Kelatar.
9.
Oh, good.
28.
Okay.
19 for Cedric.
Yes.
And for Kalatar, it is... Oh...
Rub that out, because it's back up to his
It's
full.
plus 3. So that's 19 as well.
19. Lyra, you take a point of exhaustion from the blood loss. You seem to have cut yourself in quite a deep vein, and it's just...
I will stem the bleeding.
Yeah. Just feel quite tired now. But you have got the sufficient number of finger bones that are now glowing. You pick them up. Actually, put them in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assemble a wheel.
You put them into the socket, and there's a sort of flash over, and it projects out to be a wheel.
How many more chains are left on the sarcophagus?
Well, when you turn this one, 1. But as you do, and sort of your attention is focused on the wheel, you suddenly, out of the corner of your eye, Cedric, see movement.
What about the dogs?
Is it the sheep?
No, it's not sheep. Sheep is just standing next to
I
you.
wonder whether the sheep was turning to a spot like the wheel was.
No.
Same movement, yeah.
That's sort of slowly growing and
Guys, I think the bones are assembling.
not the bones, the blood.
Oh,
Roll initiative.
Yeehaw!
Do I have disadvantage on initiative rolls? Does that count as an...
No, not for exhaustion.
I mean, that would just make it a straight roll
Yes.
for me.
Well,
We'll say, yeah, roll for George as well, because
fuck the dice gods.
they are out. No, we'll say not for George and anyone who's not in the room, because this will make
Not
life
for
easier.
George.
Not for George and everyone else in the room, because let's be honest, we've got enough creatures floating around in here at the moment.
Oh, it's one... Oh, no, it's not one of those. It's not one of what we've already faced.
Nope, it's a blood ooze. Well, I know that's his blood elemental, but I couldn't find the ooze mini. The direwolves don't sort of really in the way here. You guys are right up here with your undead, and I'm going to use this red one for the sheep. But then you've got 2 really uncomfortable direwolves. I'm going to use the greens for. I don't use yellows because I can get those out easily. But they are large creatures. So it's
What are they?
direwolves.
Alright, so the yellow are direwolves. What are the white and
The white and the grey are bones and skin.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in this room. So, 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
18.
18 for
The
Lyra.
dog's got
This-
15.
Distinctly average for Lyra, because that's
15
a
for the
10.
direwolves. Nice.
Oh, I need to roll for.
Skeletor.
No, I have already for. Oh no, they're just out of my turn. Bones and.
They got your turn. Okay. Who goes first?
I think so. Anyway.
Direwolves and Lyra. Okay. 15 to 10. 10 to 5.
9.
For Asher. Cedric and Calatar.
Cedric rolled a 1,
So that
And
puts
got
him on
2.
2.
and Calatar also rolled a 1, and that puts him on 4.
Fuck's sake, Ross.
I managed to roll 2 1s.
Nice. Okay.
And that would be the. Has anyone else rolled a 1 today? That'd be the 4th 1 I've rolled today.
Oh, dear.
And this is why I don't play martial classes.
Did you add my natural 20?
I didn't. When was that?
Investigation.
All right.
He did just get him.
In which case, top of the round brings us to the ooze, who is going to squeeze past you because it can, or squeeze past the direwolves, and make its way towards Cedric
Okay.
because it's a large creature. Sort of, it can go around on the walls.
For
It's
sure.
fine. So it's going to make an attack against you, Cedric, which is a 13 to hit.
That does not hit anymore.
Then it does nothing. As it sort of a pseudopod blood ooze just goes out towards you. You just you use your armour to sort of protect you against it. Alright, and its turn. Lyra.
Where is the ooze now?
Oh, over here.
Right, Lyra is going to. She's going to action put her shield on.
Okay.
Bonus action, Hunter's Mark, using the Hunter's Prospect.
Okay, it is marked with Hunter's Mark.
And then that is going to be it.
Direwolves.
They will both go in for. I think they have a multi.
Only one of them can get there because of the space that it's because they're both large creatures. Yeah. So
Okay,
that one's
well-
over there. This one's. We'll say that one's okay, but
Gonna go and bite. They
Okay.
get advantage.
yep, because Cedric is there, as is the skeleton.
17 plus.
Oh, that hits.
5, so yeah. That is 2. 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. Okay. As the fangs sink into it, you can just see as the ooze sort of expands ever so slightly, and when it lets go, its fangs are dripping blood. It looks like it takes 7 points of necrotic damage for the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the wolf takes
7 points of necrotic damage, yes.
Hitting it.
It was 12, wasn't it, that it did damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's all we can do.
Alright, Asher. It's all
Right.
truncated together.
Rajay.
Okay, you Rajay.
And I will try and whack it with Shatterfang.
You can't get there.
Who's in my way?
Everyone.
Which square is that?
Well, it's a
direwolf in?
direwolf, so it's a large creature. It takes up all of them.
You had to summon the direwolves.
Thought I was going to have to kill a sheep. It's a vicious animal. Hang on. You're going to question the direwolves. He's brought an actual sheep down here.
What are you saying about sheepy?
I love the idea you're going to take that home with you and just got an undead sheep wandering around.
So I can't hit it at all.
You can't reach it with a melee attack, no.
Oh, then I wouldn't have raged, and I would try and source a way out,
Okay, there's the stairs.
but I can't get there.
You can move through the space, but you just can't stop any. There's nowhere for you to stop on
So
the
you
roof.
can get like
You can get to
probably
the
bottom of
entrance.
the
You can get to the
stairs.
bottom of the stairs, but you just couldn't. The problem is that you can't share a space with another creature. Kafina could because she's small. And
Can I mount the direwolf?
yes, if you want to.
I will mount the direwolf.
I will say that will take up because it's,
Yeah, that's fine. That'll be
it'll
my
take up
action.
your take up your
but
turn.
It means that
It does. It well normally what it does is it use up half your movement speed, but to get there you use up more than half.
Yep,
So
that's fine. I'll mount the
you are
direwolf.
on top of a direwolf. Cool. Good to know. Do you still rage or are you?
No,
Good.
there's no point.
All right. Kalatar.
Where is Kalatar in this
Oh
mess?
shit, he's over here.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to bring him in.
No, that's fine. That's why I didn't know where he was. And that thing, the big bloody thing.
The big blood ooze. Yes.
Yeah, is that actually off the side from?
It's on the wall.
It's on the wall.
Yes.
And are people?
It has a climb speed.
And my question, I guess, is if I use Shatter, will it impact other friendlies?
It's only a 10-foot high room, so almost certainly.
Yes. Okay. Well, once again, Kalatar, you have very little in the way.
Is Kalatar in here? Oh yeah, he is.
He is. Because you brought him down to Bloodlet.
Yeah, to do.
Oh,
Well, you brought
yeah.
someone down to Bloodlet, and he happened to be the first one that came along. Do things, Cedric.
Well,
Kalatar.
Kalatar. He will viciously mock it.
What does he say?
He will say, no, not even because he's not just Cedric. He will say, I don't know whether he would say this or not. He would say something wildly inappropriate about blood and sexual acts.
I was going to say, I've sneezed scarier blobs than you.
Rolled an 11, so roll your 2d4.
I was trying to think of something that might be more Kalatari.
It's 1.
So,
It's 2d4, remember?
It's 2d4.
oh yeah, of course, because 5.
I can think the only thing that he'd probably say is, I normally have to ram something quite difficult to get this much blood.
There we go. Cool. That's
How much?
5.
5
total.
points of psychic
Yeah.
damage.
A 1 and a 4.
Alrighty.
Disadvantage on the next.
Yes.
Take disadvantage on his next attack. Correct indeed all. Cedric.
I am within melee range,
You
aren't
are
I?
within melee.
Excellente. I'm trying to decide between just. You know what? I will just go full axe straight away.
Go for it.
So I will axe away. Oh yeah, nailed that. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Nice.
I was going to be stuck for a second. Cool.
20.
Yes. So that is double damage, which isn't really much, but it's probably.
What's wrong with
This
you?
is why I
Just
dropped.
gently.
This is why I dropped the die.
I'm amazed you haven't shattered those at any point.
Yeah. That is 14 points of slashing damage.
14 points of slashing damage. Okay, it's going to use its reaction to overflow, so I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sure thing.
How much was it, sorry? 16?
14. A Constitution saving throw
Correct.
of 20.
20. Okay, that is a success. So you take half damage. You do take, as you hit it, the first lot of necrotic damage, which is 8 points of necro damage.
Okay.
Which does that. As you sort of hack into it in the blood, you sort of feel as if as it's drawing your blood from it.
Okay, so even when I'm not physically touching it, I'm getting
When you're
hurt.
hitting it with a melee attack.
Okay.
You then take another 7 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
Which is you're sort of hitting and it's being damaged by this. It seems to be not it's sort of recovering. It's like the blood is sort of gathering back in. As you're hitting it, the blood is spattering away. More is coming in and building up. It's kind of a weird thing. It's now its turn. It has disadvantage on its next attack, so it is going to attack the thing.
At the beginning, what? I was going to say at the beginning of its turn, can it make a Constitution saving throw? Yeah, is that what you do?
Yeah, that's what I was trying
okay.
to suggest with my.
Con
Suggestive
save
hand dresser.
of your suggestive hand dresser.
Oh, it's
Of
necrotic
12.
damage, so it's probably going to help it.
It's immune to necrotic damage.
4 points of necrotic damage.
It takes no points of necrotic damage. It's
Okay.
immune.
Do I notice that it's not taking any necrotic damage?
You sort of you flex the spores a little bit. You see as it's sort of drawn away from the hand. You can see that it's got one of the spores in there. Sort of, and there's nothing.
Okay.
Just react to it.
Noted
It's attacking against you. That is a 15 to hit.
I guess I didn't have my shield up, so I guess that hits.
You didn't. Yeah, you didn't specify. You were carrying a sheep for most of your time down
True
here.
story.
So you take. Jeez. Where's the D10? Where is my D10? I'm missing a D10 somewhere. That's weird.
Ross has
Oh, no,
got
they're over
a
here.
D4 for his thing.
I will ready.
Good. At the moment, that's a good thing.
You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage
Okay.
and 14 points of necrotic damage.
31.
And as it hits you
And
again, and you just
14.
feel, you just feel that blood being drawn out of you again. That ends its turn. Lyra, sorry, I forget you can't see the initiative tracker because it's hidden behind the microphone.
Seeing what happened when this was hit with a melee weapon, Lyra is not in melee with it.
No, slightly too far away.
Right. She will drop her shield,
Yes.
take out her bow.
Yes.
Planar warrior, the blood ooze.
Yes. Sorry, just to double check. What damage is the axe? Is it slashing?
Yes.
Is it immune to slashing damage?
From magical weapons as well.
Just immune to slashing damage.
Okay.
So actually, you wouldn't have taken. I'm going to let it go because it did damage to you and other things happened. So we'll just a heads up.
Sure.
Slashing damage does nothing.
Okay.
Glad I dropped the
Scimitar.
melee idea. Bow, planar warrior.
Go for
two
it. Make an attack roll.
Right. First attack is a 9.
Hits.
9.
It's a big blob of blood.
Hit.
AC is 8.
Okay. In which case it takes. That was. Yes, that's right. Sorry. Went a bit mad there. 14 points of force damage.
Nice.
Hang on. Sorry, that's not right. It's more than that. Because I missed the planar warrior. 21 points of force.
So another 6 on top of
7.
that. Another 7 on top of that. Nice.
Because it's 8 d8 for the bow,
You said-
d8 for the planar. So that.
And a
Five-
D6 for
it
Hunter's
was-
Mark.
Yeah. So I got a 5, a 7, and a 6. And it's plus
So it's
3.
18, so it's 21. Okay, so it's actually on there. Okay, cool.
13, 18 plus 3
Yeah.
is 21. Yeah.
Okay.
And then.
You said 14 before, which confused me.
Yes, well,
Oh,
that
you
was
rolled a
without-
7. You rolled a 7. Never mind.
Yeah.
Carry on.
And then. Second attack is 19.
Hit.
Man, you guys look so depressed.
Which is 13 piercing damage.
13 points of piercing damage. Nice.
Does that work?
Does
it
work.
seem to affect it?
Piercing damage does seem to take
Right.
it.
In that case, I will, if I can, back into the corner.
Okay. Take a step back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we forgot about your zombie and skeleton.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go.
Dire wolves. Connor.
Bite, and they'll try and move to let everyone pass.
Okay, they sort
Even
of
if-
press themselves up against the wall.
Yeah.
One is still within melee of it.
Bite it, and the wolves don't know any different.
Yeah. Oh, they don't care. They just vanish.
So 19 on the dice.
19. That hits.
Oh, it's Jared.
Oh, hey, Jared.
Who?
Is watching.
Oh, is there another person watching?
15 points.
Yes, Jared.
Hi, Jared.
Hi, Jared.
15 points.
15 points of damage. Nice. That puts it on to. And the direwolf takes 9 points of necrotic damage. Alright. Asher.
Now I'll rage. And now I'll whack. That is. Oh, it's a 14 on the dice, so I know that hits.
Yeah,
Did
definitely.
Shatterfang give you advantage?
Pack tactics.
Ah,
Shatterfang gives it back tactics.
tactics.
So that's 3d6, yes?
Yeah.
Cool.
That is.
Yeah, so. Actually, shall I. It was a good roll, but I need to separate the radiant, don't I?
You do, yes.
Yeah, so the pink dice will be the radiant.
Okay.
Two and a 1.
weapon fighting. It's useful.
So 5 radiant. And the
Weapon
rest is
radiant.
irrelevant, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's all slashing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only 5 radiant? Is that plus your half?
Oh, yeah, sorry. 8 radiant.
8 radiant.
And then I will hit again.
Are you sure it's plus 4 radiant? Because it's half your
Roll
Asimar
5
level.
on the dice plus 4.
And it's half your barbarian level, isn't it? Your
Yeah,
Asimar
jeez.
thing. Yeah, that's your other thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah?
Yep.
And then I will go again.
I'm with you.
That's a crit, so I will smite.
Okay,
Yeah?
roll your. Roll with the slashing damage. You might as well just roll your 4d10.
8.
And one.
4d8, sorry.
Oh no, the D6 only.
First attack.
only
Yeah,
first
that's what
The
I
hit.
smited. I need to roll one more after this thing. Ooh, 776.
Woo! So that's 20. Nice.
And an 8.
28.
28.
7768. Doubled. It was a crit.
So 28 double.
56.
Oh, how do you want to kill this ooze?
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Aggressive.
And it turns into a light axe.
Yeah, that's true. You just turn
Oh,
the sword. Just
it
yeah,
isn't.
sword just glows with pure divine energy. And you just hack across it, dispersing the blood.
Well, let's not linger around in here much longer
No, that's
and
not.
unchain whatever's inside that sarcophagus instead,
There is one chain left on the
Yeah.
which
I
is the
shall
middle
put
finger.
my bow away and
no, which is the
it's the.
Yeah.
Percy Pointer, isn't it?
Index.
point
Pointer.
finger. Yes, it's on the
I
right
shall
hand.
pick up my scimitar and shield again before leaving.
Okay,
Good old smite.
good old.
That was a very good roll.
That was an excellent smite.
Nice.
7768.
Nice.
On D10s, yeah.
All right.
D8s.
Oh, D8.
D8s.
Ah,
Smite is a D8.
nice. Okay.
Luke always says D10s, and
I do say
I
D10s.
always
I'm wrong.
remind him, even though I shouldn't, because D10s will.
Okay,
be much
so
nicer.
you heading to the last room?
Sure.
All right. You all heading down there, or just you guys?
That's my one rule. Just us.
Yeah, just us.
I'll leave Kalatar behind.
I'm
Are
still
you-
concentrating on Hunter's Mark.
In
Okay.
fact,
Do we want to have everyone else ready?
Surrounding the
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, you all head down. So this time, as you head down there is a. The first thing that you notice is that there is a. It's a 40-foot circular room, 40 foot across, sort of 30 feet high, and there is a giant sitting cross-legged in the centre of the room, who looks somewhat skeletal and gaunt, with sort of tendrils of this red liquid sort of wrapped around it, just sort of sitting there cross-legged, holding a spear in one hand, and just looks at you. And it's odd because as you're sort of entering into this room, it sort of feels like there is no connection to the Shadowfell. Kind of feels like things are nicer in here.
very
It's
quickly,
very weird.
before we walk in
Yes.
properly, I would like to level 3 cure wounds on myself.
Okay, that is understandable.
Because I took a lot of damage then.
Wish to speak to the giant.
Oh, it's around.
I can speak to the giant.
Yes. 40 foot across the circle.
You're going to speak to the giant in giant.
I can do what should I?
I think we should.
Okay, what do you say to said giant?
Hello, my name's Cedric. What's your name?
I am
Ermer.
Last name Gerd. IRMEH.
Nice to meet you, Irma.
Hold on one sec. Do you speak common?
No.
Would you like me to translate your message?
Yes. Nice to meet you, Irma. How can we help you today?
I don't know. What are you here for?
We're here to collect a package for the Raven Queen.
Deception check. Actually, no, that's not a deception check.
Oh,
Persuasion check. Okay, persuasion check, sure.
That was nearly good.
12.
Can it be? I mean, I'm just requesting for advantage, but I'm like immediate.
I mean, technically, it's you making the persuasion check.
Really. Because I'm the one saying it, but which isn't really helpful, probably. I mean, it's no, because it's probably going to be worse.
Sure, Cedric made the persuasion check. Is
8. I told you.
I'm sorry. I can't let you do that.
Are you friends with the Raven Queen?
No.
Ask him if he's friends with Vecna.
Are you friends with Vecna?
Of sorts.
Do you work for him?
Yes.
He works for him.
Oh dear.
as you sort of turn back and go, there's this slight red mist, but you are now seeing the colour of it just rising up around him.
Before you get really angry and start to fight, I'm just wondering if you can just help us. Like, you don't necessarily just have to do it. You can just sort of just let us drift on by.
Persuasion check.
With advantage.
No.
15. It's just probably as high as Cedric's ever going to get.
I was going to say.
Pass on by. You mean leave?
1 second. So, I might have gotten us out of the fight, sort of, but we would have to leave.
I think we should leave and bring everybody else back in here.
That's maybe a good idea. It's one more. Sorry, if you could just answer another. What's in the sarcophagus upstairs?
No response.
It's just, stop the idiot. Stop the idiot.
You don't know what he said.
No, I don't have to. That's the problem.
I was just trying to find out if you knew what was in the sarcophagus upstairs. You didn't answer. Do we want to leave and maybe get some more people?
I think we should, yes. Bye.
Cedric, make a Constitution saving throw.
What mid-conversation?
Oh, 11.
11. You are incapacitated as you suddenly cough up blood, and it just starts filling your mouth, and it just starts saying, that's what we're going to pick up next week. Because it is 10:30, and this is going to be an interesting one that we can deal with everyone here.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, who's still watching, that is our blood giant.
I think it is, yes. Yeah.
Blood.
Hold on. Oh, I can do a DM focus. There you go. Perfect.
There he is. There's our giant. So, tune in next week. Possibly. I don't know whether we're still doing.
I don't know. Vec knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
Vec knows.
Do listen to the podcast next week, and
listen
also
to the
do
podcast.
come across our stream on Monday, this bank holiday, on the 26th of August, for our charity one shot being DM'd by Tom, who is going to be taking us through an evil adventure.
Evilish.
Evil light. But look forward to that. If you're not taking part in it, we have our classes that we can announce now, because we now know what we're doing. So, I will be playing a bard. Ross will be a rogue. Connor will be a cleric, because everyone wants Connor to be a cleric for some reason. Don will be playing a barbarian, and Matt will be playing a monk. So, tune in to see what it is, where we have a couple of friends coming along to join in with the chaos. Please do donate to Cynthia Spencer Hospice.
The voting is finished, but the
Voting is
fundraising
finished?
has not.
Yes, we will still take money from you for them.
Or they will.
Yes. Give it to Just Give. I'll just give you an account, so I don't know if Ross has just
I
put
just
it.
put it in the
There
chat.
you go, it's in the chat.
Production quality.
It's amazing.
We know what we're doing. So,
I also put the podcast in when you plug the podcast as well.
there you go.
so-
Podcast. Listen to that. If you're new to us,
please.
there we go. So thank you very much for joining us. we shall see you next time. Hopefully we'll see you on Monday. But until then, survive until Friday. Good night, everyone. Hey!
Stream stopped.